Mike O'Shea leads the league in tackles. Tonight, he goes head-on with the Edmonton Eskimos. But you can't talk great Canadian linebackers without mentioning Edmonton's man in the middle, Larry Ruck. Ruck has been a star with the Eskimos for 10 seasons, and if he doesn't get you, number 39 will. Willie Pless, last year's Defensive Player of the Year. Pless and Ruck, a great 1-2 punch. And a guy they'll be chasing tonight is second-year quarterback Anthony Cavillo, the man who's thrown more passes than any other quarterback this season. Most often, it's to receiver Earl Winfield. Cavillo and Winfield hooked up several times Monday night. Hamilton lost to Memphis. Now they want to win.
CFL Live. Tonight's game from Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. The Edmonton Eskimos versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Good evening and welcome to the CFL on TSN. I'm Darren Detishin. Glad you could join us this evening. You know, for years they have battled East versus West, but because of the new CFL configuration, the Hamilton Ticats and the Edmonton Eskimos are now divisional brothers. After a great start to the year, the Tabbies have dropped 2 straight, while the Eskimos are coming off their first loss of the year. On now to our key matchup, and it's one of the most exciting aspects to the game. 2 of the league's top return men are in action tonight. Henry Gizmo Williams, greatest punt returner this league has ever seen, with 23 regular season punt returns for touchdowns. This year, he's averaging 13.1 yards per punt, 5th in the league, while Sam Rogers of the Ticats also having a fine season, taking one last week, 113 yards for a major. Rogers does have a slightly better average than the Giz. Should be a very good battle tonight. Time now to go to Ivor Wynne as Leaf and John are standing by. And gentlemen, while we have talked about the punt returning, Lucius Floyd is also expected to be a factor tonight.
Darren, I don't think there's any doubt about it. The Eskimos have new faces at both quarterbacking spots, 3 new receivers, and then Lucius Floyd. He's a guy who can do it all.
Well, he really is, and John, he has become the focal point of their offense. There you see an amazing statistic. In 74 games played, he averages over 100 yards a game in all-purpose yards, and there is no more running quarterback in Edmonton, so that means Lucius Floyd is going to get the ball on the ground a lot more, and he is a terrific pass receiver out of the backfield as well.
And number 59 for the Tiger Cats, Michael O'Shea, is a guy who's going to run into Lucius more than once tonight. O'Shea was simply outstanding for the Tiger Cats in that game on Monday against Memphis.
Yeah, I get excited when you talk about Mike O'Shea. He really is a throwback kind of middle linebacker. He is mean and nasty, and what he wants to do is really punish those Edmonton Eskimos tonight, and he doesn't have any responsibilities to cover quarterbacks running because Kerwin Bell isn't going anywhere, so that means when running backs and slots catch the ball tonight, Mike O'Shea is going to be there to go helmet to helmet, and they better have the chin straps done up.
Darren, this is the only meeting of the season between the Eskimos and the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and even in Week 5, it's a big game for both teams.
Indeed it is. Thanks very much, guys. On now to our game story. The Edmonton backfield, it will be a factor tonight. Earl Winfield, he is basically Hamilton's receiving corps. And the defense of the Eskimos, still the cornerstone of this team. Let's go out to Ivor Wynne as John and Leaf are standing by for the kickoff.
Paul Osbaldiston has it on the tee already. And the Eskimos and the Tiger Cats are set at Ivor Wynne here in Hamilton. 2 deep for the Eskimos. Lucius Floyd and Henry Williams. And Paul Osbaldiston will handle all the kicking duties for the Tiger Cats in this one tonight. Hank Alisic on the sidelines. We were set to go, and the ball just rolled off the tee. It's a little damp in Hamilton tonight.
Well, the thunderstorms have been really coming in and out, just raining hard before the opening kickoff here, and I suspect we're going to see a wet field for the entire ballgame tonight.
Osbaldiston ready now. And this is coming down to the gizmo. Henry Williams at the 10. Solid tackle by Brian McCurdy. Tonight's starting lineup. For Mr. Sub, fresh thinking is what we are. Eskimo offense loaded with changes, including the starting quarterback, Kerwin Bell. He's hitting on 63% of his passes in 4 starts so far. Now, the offensive line playing well despite injuries. Chris Green and Steve Krupe are the recent new starters up front. The Eskimos are raving about their new receiver, Shalon Baker, who joins veteran Jim Sandusky outside, and Lucius Floyd is great out of the backfield, rushing and receiving. Bell, a little play action. And over the top, he has Davis. Couldn't hang on. Sam Rogers was covering on Davis that time. Hamilton defense, 8 sacks from the front 4 of Marcus Cotton, Mike Philbrick, Mike Campbell, and Jesse Small. Michael O'Shea in the midst of a super season at middle linebacker. And the secondary hanging in with a lot of new faces, including Don Robinson, Sam Rogers as the starting halfbacks. 2nd and 10, Eskimos to 25. Bell dumps this one out, and he has Lucius Floyd. Floyd should have the first down.
Boy, this is something you're going to see a lot of tonight. Kerwin Bell, as John mentioned, is throwing for 63%, and it's at a high percentage passing offense where it's really a slot back and running back type of receiving offense. There you see the numbers for the running backs indicating that, yeah, I think they're more receivers than runners right now.
1st and 10, Eskimos at the 37. And that time, Kerwin Bell missed Shalon Baker.
Pretty interesting matchup for Kerwin Bell tonight, because with a high percentage passing offense where they dump the ball off and throw the hooks and curls to the inside guys, you like to play against a soft defense, and Hamilton really gives you that, so let's see how successful he can be.
On 2nd and 10, Bell comes to this side, almost picked up. Carter had his hands on it. That's Eric Carter, number 2. The intended receiver was Shalon Baker, who turned around, and the pass was in Carter's hands, but he couldn't squeeze it.
Eric Carter with 3 interceptions already in 4 games. Could have had his number 4 right here. Excellent coverage, turning around on a wet field to take on Shalon Baker. And that's a little surprising on the first series. They really don't use the wide receivers that much until they get down into the red zone, the scoring area.
Here's Harper's first punt of the game. Bouncing in front of Andrew Gregg. He picks it up on the second hop and draws the flag out across the 40. 5-yard return. Tacklers led by Bruce Dixon. And George Black is in charge of proceedings. Indication is against the Edmonton Eskimos for failing to allow enough yardage.
No yards. Edmonton, number 36. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Hamilton offense led by the 22-year-old Anthony Cavillo. 5th straight start. Still learning the CFL game. 3 interceptions on Monday cost the Tiger Cats a victory. Jude St. John is making his first start on the offensive line. And the veteran Earl Winfield is the only true veteran offensively in the receiving corps for the Tiger Cats. This is Kalen Hall. At least they wanted to get him the football a little bit tonight. Eskimo defense has been great in 4 games. Tony Wood starts for Benny Goods. Leroy Blue off to a super start up front. Larry Ruck and Willie Pless. You need not say much more about linebackers like that, and a solid veteran secondary. Darian Hagan is the only new face for the Eskimos this season. This will be 2nd and 5 for the Tiger Cats. Cavillo looks to put it up. Swings it to Hall coming out of the backfield. Up to the 55. It'll be a Ticat first down. Don Southern said he wanted to get the football to Kalen Hall about 20 times tonight.
Yeah, they really need to do that. Not only rushing, but receiving just like that. I mean, that is a very easy pass to complete, the swing to Kalen Hall. But, you know, it's just been too difficult not using him in the offense. The other night he was really a non-factor, and tonight, you betcha, they're going to try and get him the ball. And see, he made Larry Ruck miss and got a first down.
Right around midfield as Cavillo goes to the shotgun and finds Hall again this time. Read well by Willie Pless, and the gain is limited to a couple. What do you say about Kalen Hall, former player in Vegas, came to the Tiger Cats in the dispersal draft. A couple of touchdowns along the ground and 1 receiving touchdown as well. Gain is 2. This is 2nd and 8. Andrew Gregg making his first start. Couldn't hang out of that one.
Third down, 8 yards to go on the 53-yard
So it'll be third
line.
down as the Ticats make one first down and kick it away.
Yeah, Larry Ruck will come just to the left of your screen on a delayed blitz, and he will come free at the end. Now, Cavillo still has time to get rid of the football, but, you know, they brought 6 guys. That's kind of a message early that on second and long, Mr. Cavillo, you're going to see a little extra heat from our front linebacking core.
Osbaldiston kicked a little bit on Monday night after Hank Alisic had to retire with an ankle injury. Henry Williams waiting, and he may not get a play on this one as it rolls out at the 20-yard line. 33-yard punts for Paul Osbaldiston.
19-yard line.
No scores so far in Iverwin and Hamilton. Osbaldiston and the Tiger Cats against Bell and the Eskimos.
CFL Live on TSN. Brought to you by All Sports. The new All Sports drink for athletes. All Sports. The game will never be the same. And by Bell Advantage Long Distance Services. From the Alliance of Canada's only full-service telecommunications companies.
There's a Hall of Famer, Ron Lancaster. Great years as a quarterback with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Still holds the record for touchdown tosses in the Canadian Football League with 333. His counterpart tonight, Don Southern, also a Hall of Famer. 5 Grey Cups as a player in the Canadian Football League in his second season as head coach of the Tiger Cats, his first full year. First and 10 Eskimos. This is Lucius Floyd. There's not much running room for Floyd that time as Jesse Small got over to make the tackle. Marcus Cotton also in on the action down there. Cotton missed the Monday game against Memphis.
We have to like what Lucius Floyd has given this ball club early. Those are the rushing yards, about 5 yards a carry, which is terrific, but it's his pass receiving that I think they really like.
Second and 9 over the middle on target as C.J. Davis makes the catch, his first of the ball game on around the 35.
Well, you get a great look at what Kerwin Bell's reading. The blitz is coming with Mike O'Shea. He knows he's got man-on-man with his slot on a wet field, and that's a good place where he threw that ball away from the defensive back and let his guy C.J. Davis make the catch.
First down Edmonton as Bell slings it out to Baker. And Baker made a pretty good play after looking to be stopped. Penalty markers everywhere as Baker was manhandled out of bounds. And it is a rainy night in Tigertown right now. Thunderstorms, as Leaf mentioned, all around the area before the game, and it's a wet one for now.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Hamilton, number 2. First down.
That's Eric Carter.
Well, you'll see Carter come in late, and Baker, no question, he's out of bounds. And, you know, that call is magnified here with these walls so close to the field. You just got to leave the guy alone.
First and 10 Eskimos, 52 as Bell goes deep and couldn't find Nick Mazzoli. Covering on the play was Don Robinson
52-yard line.
on Nick Mazzoli.
And all kinds of time for Kerwin Bell to just sit back in that pocket and pick out a receiver. You know, Bell at 6'3" has normally great sight lines downfield, but his offensive line here early in the game is doing a terrific job. Nobody from Hamilton's getting close.
Second and 10 Eskimos at the 52. Bell from the shotgun. Here comes the heat. Bell away from that. Not really too swift to pull. Stopped at the 55 by Luke Capazzo. And Cotton also there. Marcus Cotton. A couple of sacks on the season. And this is his 4th game.
I missed last Monday night's game with Memphis with a knee injury, but he was their leading sacker after 3 games, so you know they're pleased to get him back in the lineup. But just when you talk about their inability to get any heat on the quarterback, Cotton comes up with a good sack.
Harper's kick is deep. Taken by Sam Rogers. Solid tackle upfield by Bruce Dixon. No return after a 42-yard punt. And no score at Iverwin so far. Dieter Brock, Ticats offensive coordinator, sends Cavillo into the game, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to CFL Control. It had been rumored for quite a while, but today Gord Ash finally pulled the trigger on a trade as he sent David Cone to the New York Yankees. In return, the Blue Jays get 3 minor league pitching prospects. Coney was 9-6 this year, 3.38 ERA, now a member of the Yanks. Let's go back out to Ivor Wynn, to John and Lee.
Ticats have really struggled in the early going of football games. Cavillo, for one, was 1 of 10 before he got on track on Monday night.
Yeah, and on the other side of the coin, the Edmonton Eskimos have really played well in the first quarter, and so you know how paramount it is for Hamilton to get off to a good start, but they're in pretty tough territory here, backed up.
4 receivers, a quad set to the near side for the Tiger Cats. This goes to Curtis Gordon, number 84. And he's barely across the 15 for a couple. Leroy Blue, who has been playing superbly for the Eskimos, in on the tackle that time.
Leroy Blue splits his time about 50-50 between rushing the passer and dropping back as a linebacker. I asked him, what he likes doing best. He said, that's easy. He said, I like to rush the quarterback, and I think his 2 sacks already tells that story.
End of a couple, 2nd and 8 Ticats. Cavillo swings it out for Hall. Hall went one-on-one with Darian Hagan, and Hagan won it. Stopping Hall well short of a first down.
Darian Hagan is truly an interesting story. He's another one of these Las Vegas posse players that came over to the Eskimos, but originally a quarterback. In fact, with Las Vegas, he played quarterback, running back, and the corner. But, at the University of Colorado, he was a terrific quarterback, but he's such an exceptional athlete that he has been able to make the transition to corner, which is, such a tough spot to play. And, he was drafted by the Blue Jays as a shortstop. Talk about an all-around athlete.
And listed by the Eskimos as their 3rd stringer should anything happen to the first 2 quarterbacks. Great punt. This is Henry Williams. Solid downfield tackling by the Tiger Cats. 51-yard punt, and Henry Williams lost 2 on the return. Steve McKee leading the tacklers upfield for the Tiger Cats.
Well, they got him that time, but every single time Henry Williams touches the football, as a cover team, you have to be so aware and a little bit nervous there when you see what he's done throughout his career.
He's run a couple back this year that have been called back because of penalty.
And I think the fact that he's not playing wide receiver this year makes him even better as a kick returner. That's all he has to worry about.
Eskimos beginning at their own 38, first down. Little play action for Kerwin Bell, looking to the far side. He's got Baker. And Greer had to come from behind to run down Shalon Baker. There's a marker down.
And the only thing I can think of is that Baker stepped out of bounds and came back into the field of play to make that catch. And we'll see exactly how they call this. But he and Derek Greer were having a pretty good fight down the sidelines.
If it stands, it's a 36-yard gain for the Eskimos.
We have no infraction on the play. Pass receiver was pushed out of bounds.
All right, you saw what you saw, and you were right, although he was forced out. So in that case, you can come back in and make the catch.
Yeah, George Black explained that nicely, that he was forced out, and play stands. Nice catch, good gain.
All the way down to the Ticat 36. Here's Lucius Floyd on the drop. And he's near the 31.
So seeing Lucius Floyd carry the ball really brings up an interesting point about the philosophy on offense and how it's changed for Edmonton. I mean, all the rushing yardage now will be accumulated by Lucius Floyd and Michael Souls. Kerwin Bell will never run unless absolutely necessary.
Bell swings this to Floyd coming out of the backfield. On 2nd and a bunch, Floyd has plenty for the first down. It was 2nd and 6. Roger Hennig over to push him out. And the gain is 14 yards for Lucius Floyd.
It's a great call for Bell, and one of the reasons why it's this high percentage passing offense. Easy ball to complete, and he gets him blocking out in front downfield from his buddy Michael Souls. What a good first down call. Hamilton's going to have to come up and be a little more aggressive towards the line of scrimmage.
Eskimos at the Ticat 18. They try the other side with Floyd. Hassan Bailey over over to make the stop, and he had to get to Floyd there, or there would have been substantial yardage for the Eskimos.
Well, Hassan Bailey is the one linebacker that can really run with Lucius Floyd. Bailey, of course, a converted defensive back to linebacker, and for that simple reason, he has the speed to stay with a Lucius Floyd.
Bell has Floyd again, and Sean Smith made the stop that time at the 10.
Pressure's really on Sean Smith. This is his second game at outside linebacker, and really last week was not overly involved in the defense against Memphis. So tonight he's going to really have to show whether he can play in this league. Spent some time in the World League, and well, you think you play 10 games over there. If he played all 18 here, 28 games in a short period of time, any of those guys that played in the World League are really going to have a workout throughout this 1995 season.
Yeah, sort of a February to December football season, if in fact you can get on a team and hang in and go all the way to the Grey Cup. Floyd, 4 carries for 34 yards. Eskimos come up short, and Sean Fleming good on 14 of 17. And with Harper holding, a fake is on. Floyd, touchdown! Harper to Floyd. The Eskimos faked it and fooled the Tiger Cats. Solid drive. Little Ron Lancaster football on this one.
Well, Ronnie loves to use these, what they call peanut plays, and here Harper really has his choice and picks the right guy in Lucius Floyd, and yeah, Lucius walked in. He made that look pretty easy.
Whoa, it's a little bit of a breeze blowing here at Ivor Wind Stadium right now. We lost a few notes and papers scattering out all over the field. 7-0 for the Eskimos. Solid drive engineered by Kerwin Bell. And here's how they finish it off on the fake with Harper finding Floyd.
Look at Lucius Floyd from all the way over there. I draw him first. Leroy Blue goes up. You get the guy out here in the flat. Watch Floyd. He comes all the way across, and he'll end up making the touchdown reception. But, well, you have to have good blocking on that to wait for the time for Floyd to open up. That's a pretty good throw by Harper there, and they make it look awfully easy on the fake.
Thinking back to Monday nights, one more look at this, where Kalen Hall had the opportunity to throw back to the quarterback, Anthony Cavill, for a 2-point convert.
Yeah, he could have had it.
And the play was there, but Kalen Hall came up a little bit short on the toss.
You know, when you're on that field goal defensive team, you really, you're always thinking about the fake, but normally you only have to worry about 2 guys to one side, but that's why that scheme by Edmonton was so effective, because they turned it into a 3-man pattern instead of the normal 2 that most teams prepare for it, and Hamilton just really had no idea. I mean, they covered 2 guys nicely, but there was nobody left for Lucius Floyd.
2 deep for the Tiger Cats. That's Sam Rogers and Andrew Grigg. Ready to return Grigg. The reverse is on to Sam Rogers. Rogers took a punt return, 113 yards for a touchdown last week. The return on there, 20 yards after a 66-yard kickoff.
Well, the flag really tells the story. All of a sudden, the wind here at Ivor Wind has really picked up.
The Eskimos scoring drive took 6 plays and 2 minutes 18 seconds to cover 72 yards. Floyd on a 10-yard reception from the kicker Harper, or at least the holder Harper. Cavill behind the intended receiver, Andrew Grigg.
John, Hamilton's falling into the same trap that they fell into the other night against Memphis. They gave up the early big touchdown to Eddie Brown and had to play catch up. Now, same thing. They've given up what you call if you're a defensive guy, you call that a cheap touchdown on the fake field goal. Edmonton wouldn't think that, but all of a sudden now Cavill's down by 7. He's got to try and fight his team back into this one without a running game.
He doesn't have much of a running game. Cavill swings it out for Kalen Hall. Hall turns the corner, can't get by Holland. Number 17, ball is loose. Eskimos suggest they have it, and that's the indication from the official on the spot. Willie Pless is there, along with Trent Brown. And that's Willie Pless's football.
Pretty good hitting by that Edmonton defense, who was going to be interesting tonight. Who could win the physical battle in this game, because both teams are extremely physical on defense. And, you know, not a bad call to Holland. Play gets off to a shaky start, but watch 17, Robert Holland right there, gets the helmet in, and then he just works to strip the ball loose. Willie Putz with the recovery, but Holland knew he had a lot of help coming on the tackle, so he just immediately tried to rip the ball away, and he was able to do it. That's what you can do when you gang tackle a guy.
First turnover of the night, setting the Eskimos up nicely at the 31. First down. Kerwin Bell, play action, standing in. He's picked up. Eric Carter. Here's Carter, wing to the far side. He's got a blocker or two out in front. No markers down. Eric Carter still going. Can he go all the way? No flags down, folks. 101. Might need a little oxygen in the end zone, Leaf. His 4th of the year. Kerwin Bell trying to explain what happened on the sideline. Tiger Cat fans ecstatic at a punt or at an interception return touchdown for 101 yards. This will tie the ball game. Looked a little glum for the Ticats about 7 seconds ago, didn't it?
Well, one of the things that, you know, Edmonton does well is throw to the slots and backs. They get into a bit of trouble when they try and force it outside, and Eric Carter really made them pay the price.
7-7. Eric Carter has the Tiger Cats even in Hamilton. 7-7, Ticats and the Eskimos at Ivor Wynn. I told you Eric Carter might need a little oxygen. 101-yard interception return for a touchdown gets the Ticats even.
Yeah, what a huge play by the defense. They must feel like they have to do this every game now, but Shalon Baker quits on the post, and Carter is right there now. You know, he does some pretty fancy running here, but to the left of your screen, you're going to see a heck of a block by 20, Derek Greer, right there on Lucius Floyd. Now, that really paved the way, because there's no way Craig Henderson's going to catch him there. At 101 yards, Carter into the end zone. Well, you know, I talked about him early in the game. He is off to an all-Canadian type start here with his 4th pick of the year. Now he puts it into the end zone. And just when Hamilton looked like they were in trouble, you know, that defense breathes a little new life into the team.
Low kick coming down to Jed Roberts. Low and short. And Roberts gets to the 45. 10-yard return, 40-yard kick that time. And Kerwin Bell, 7 of 12, 91 yards. He engineered a touchdown drive, but then threw the interception that went the other way for 7 for the Tiger Cats.
And when I talked to Joe Paupau, their offensive coordinator, yesterday, I said, Joe, where are you going to attack this Hamilton defense? He said, between the corners. That means it's not a wide receiver offense tonight. And when he tried to hit Baker, the wide receiver, that's when they got in trouble.
Sandusky to the near side on 1st and 10, Edmonton at the 45. Kerwin Bell has to throw in a hurry, has Sandusky. He's short of the first down. Sandusky with 16 receptions, 195 yards coming into the game. Listed in the Eskimo fact book as a playing coach. He helps out with the receivers.
Yeah, more for mental approach to the game than anything else. Sandusky with so much experience in his 10 years and only 4 catches away from the 500 plateau now. But, you know, he likes it. He gets his picture in the fact book twice, once as a coach and once as a player. It's not bad. Not too many guys can say they've done that.
No, and he gets to work with a couple of pretty good new guys. Shalon Baker, 5, and C.J. Davis, who will look up to Sandusky after his 12 years experience in the Canadian Football League.
Well, I think as much as anything, you know, he can tell the young guys how to prepare mentally for a game, and, you know, that's what C.J. Davis and Shalon Baker need. There's Eric Carter. I suspect he's still tired from that run.
We'll see what happened here, pushing Sandusky out. I mean,
I'll let you know when I get back.
I have to think that You'd be too seriously hurt after going down like that. Maybe just needed a bit of a break again. Carter has his 4th interception of the season, and he has the Ticats back to even with the Eskimos. Meantime, Kerwin Bell facing 2nd and 2, right around midfield.
You know, let's see what Kerwin Bell's thinking. You know, Carter really is the best defensive back that the Tiger Cats have, not just because he had the big pick for the TD, but, you know, all of a sudden Greg Lane has to come in on a slippery night, wet and everything, and we'll see. You know, he's got Shalon Baker out here. Pretty interesting if Bell decides just to go after Lane right away.
2nd and 2 Eskimos. Michael Souls, plenty for the first down. Bailey and Robinson on the tackle on Michael Souls. 19th carry of the season.
Here's Mike O'Shea right in the middle here, and he's trying to plug, but, you know, kind of the forgotten man in this offense is Michael Souls. Look at the footwork right there. Just enough of a move to get by O'Shea and make him miss.
And Souls got to carry again. And again, it's Bailey on the tackle.
And one of the reasons why Kerwin Bell obviously is going to that hurry-up offense, number one, it's a good way to get your offense into the flow of a game, and not a heck of a lot of thinking for them to do. It also keeps Hamilton from making a lot of defensive switches.
Another injured Tiger Cat is Marcus Cotton.
Well, he's got the wonky knee that kept him out of the game Monday night with Memphis. Now he's back playing tonight, but you have to think that maybe that's the area that's still bothering him.
A couple of sacks on the season prior to the Monday night game. He's been solid up front on the right end for the Tiger Cats, playing alongside Michael Philbrick. Now, Ticats maybe getting a little thin on that defensive front.
Yeah, it's tough to know. Mike Campbell started the game, but he has not played on the last 2 series. And Lou Cafazo, who just came onto the roster because Hank Olisic went off, and he was just going to really play some special teams. All of a sudden, he's getting a lot of playing time at the defensive tackle. So you're right, they are a little thin, and Mike Campbell is going to come back into the game.
7-7 ball game at Iverwin, Leaf.
Good situation here for Kerwin Bell. You know, this is the 2nd time in a row that he's had 2nd and 2, and you might look for a little play action here.
Ticats so vastly improved over 1994 at this stage of things. 2-2 this year. Last year they began with 4 straight losses. Right now they're feeling the pressure of the Eskimos. 2nd and 2 at the 34. Souls' 3rd straight carry. And he'll have enough for the first down.
What a treat tonight, John, to watch some of the fine Canadian linebackers perform on this one. Mike O'Shea, I mean, I think this guy is terrific. And how about Larry Ruck? Lost out a year ago for MVP Canadian to Gerald Wilcox. Ruck could have easily won that award, too.
Eskimos' big advantage in first downs as Bell throws on first down again. Picked off again. Derek Greer has it this time. Sandusky, the intended receiver, and Greer is run down at the 15-yard line. So Bell has been intercepted twice, but it looked like the Eskimos were going in for points.
And the problem for Kerwin Bell is he's getting away from their game plan. Their game plan is not to be a wide receiver-oriented offense. And he got fooled by the zone coverage. He thought Greer was beaten deep, but Greer had help over the top, so that allowed him to gamble underneath, and he gets his 3rd interception. Boy, these corners for Hamilton are really playing some ball.
Second time that Bell has turned it over to the Ticats to begin at the 14, first down. Kalen Hall, and it's tough to run against Placid Ruck. It's been tough to run for the Tiger Cats all season. Kalen Hall has only 180 yards in 4 games.
Now you look at their numbers per game, only 49 yards a game, and that dropped even more with only 20 yards against Memphis. I mean, that puts far too much pressure on Cabillo.
This is 2nd and 9, Tiger Cats at the Hamilton 9. And picked out by Glenn Rogers Jr., number 26. Winfield made the tackle. He was the intended receiver, so These teams are coughing it up. Cavillo throws an interception. Second turnover by the Ticats. There was a fumble earlier.
And one of Anthony Cavillo's troubles is he's just not reading defenses very well. On second down, he knows from his scouting report that Edmonton plays a lot of 4-deep zone, and he tried to hit Winfield on the curl, but that was right in the area that Glenn Rogers was sitting in, and you know, that's just a tough defense to throw that particular pattern against. And once again, Cavillo throws an interception deep in his own territory, as he did against Memphis the other night.
Now the Eskimos have to come away with points here, Leaf. They're set up at the 20-yard line. They've been close on the last two drives and come up empty. This is Lucius Floyd, and Philbrick was there and waiting. Michael Philbrick, number 99. Couple of sacks on the season for Philbrick, and he was waiting for Lucius Floyd.
We talk about young Canadians you have to like. Mike O'Shea comes to mind, but Michael Philbrick has really elevated his game, and he's got the confidence now. He knows he's going to be a good player, and that's making him work even harder at practice every day.
Loss of one, second and 11, facing Bell now. Dumps it over the middle for Lucius Floyd. And Floyd gets down to about the 11-yard line. We'll see where they spot the ball. He's close to that first down.
Well, the difference this week for Mike O'Shea is he doesn't have to worry about the running quarterback, and that means he's concentrating on Souls and Floyd when they catch those little passes over the middle, and he makes the initial hit, keeps him well short of the first down. In fact, short enough that Sean Fleming will have to come in the game. But for Mike O'Shea, one less responsibility this week, and you know, that's going to make it a little easier for him.
Peanuts, licorice.
Eskimos missed on 3rd and 1 against San Antonio last week, and that would have won the ball game. 3rd down, 1 yard to go on the goal line, and they missed it, lost the ball game to the Texans. So a little doubt about what they're doing here. They're going for a Sean Fleming field goal. Second time Fleming's been out there in this formation. The last time he didn't get a chance to kick it.
Now you know Ron Lancaster would really have some guts if he did it twice. He said, now they'd never be thinking we do it twice in a row. Ha, ha, ha.
Procedure for 56. Repeat 3rd down.
They even think it less now with the penalty.
Sean Fleming hitting on 69% of his field goal attempts. Should be the final play of the opening quarter. Zeros are on the time clock here at Ivor Wynn. With Harper to hold at the 24. Sean Fleming. And he's on the money.
A 29-yard field goal attempt.
Eskimos back on top, but it's only a 3-point ball game after the opening quarter as we send you back to CFL control.
This CFL Live update is brought to you by The Keg, where good friends get together to enjoy great steaks and share some fun.
Thanks very much, John. A very busy day in the major leagues of baseball. The Toronto Blue Jays finally did what everybody had been waiting for. They dealt David Cone. He is now a member of the New York Yankees. Now, Cone was having a fine season this year. As a matter of fact, he was 9-6, 3.38 ERA. In return, the Jays pick up 3 pitching prospects from the minor leagues. Meanwhile, New York also dealt Danny Tartabull to Oakland for Ruben Sierra. Then Bobby Bowe acquired by Baltimore. The Mets get a couple of players as well. Stay tuned. We're back with more in just a moment. There is one other CFL game tonight as the Calgary Stampeders are home to the Shreveport Pirates. The Stamps, can you believe, have never lost to a U.S.-based team. They are 25-point favorites tonight. Let's go back to Ivor Wynn, John and Leaf. Gentlemen.
All right, Darren, we're set to begin the second quarter with the Eskimos on top by 3 at 10-7. Lots went on in the opening quarter. Turnovers every time we looked up, 2 each way. Eskimos really dominated in first downs, Leaf, and in net yards, 149-21. Story not told there is the interception return for a touchdown, 101 yards by Eric Carter for the Tiger Cats to keep it close.
Yeah, where the arrows indicate Hamilton's 21 yards net offense. I mean, you know, we indicated that they needed to get off to a good start tonight. They didn't offensively, and thank goodness their defense has kept them into this game. But really, they have to improve in this second quarter, or Edmonton can take control of this game and put them out of their misery early.
Rogers and Gregg deep for the Tiger Cats, awaiting this kickoff by Sean Fleming. And I think this one is into the third row. A little closer look at the offensive statistics for the Tiger Cats. Cavillo good on 5 of 7 for 15 yards.
Well, you know, this is a really interesting graphic to see. Anthony Cavillo, this is pass attempts per game. Now, you know, there's Doug Flutie. You expect him with that kind of number because that's just their style of offense. But look at the other successful quarterbacks like Kerwin Bell, only 32 a game. Danny McManus, 34.
Illegal kickoff. Edmonton, number 3.
What it really shows you, I think, is the fact that Hamilton just can't live with this kind of an offense. I mean, they need to support Cavillo's pretty good start to passing with some sort of running to take the heat off Cavillo and his offensive line.
Cavillo aimed for Winfield and just missed. Coverage by Robert Holland, who's playing well for the Eskimos. And tight coverage by Holland that time on the great Earl Winfield.
Wow, the two inside halfbacks for Edmonton are terrific, Holland and Glenn Rogers. Here you see Holland reading the little in pattern so quickly. He's reading the quarterback's eyes and then breaking on the football. Hamilton has to be careful. This is the part of the field when they get Hamilton these long situations. This is when they may bring a little extra heat.
2nd and 10, Tiger Cats. Cavillo with time. He has Winfield open. And across the 50. Lawler made the tackle. Number 25 on Earl Winfield. He's got a nifty little average going so far in 95 with a touchdown every game.
Wow, that was a good pickup by the offensive line to handle the blitz, and Morris Lawler was the corner, was giving Winfield all kinds of room. I have to think that the wet field is in the back of Lawler's mind. He doesn't want to take any chances of falling down, but probably the best throw that Cavillo has made tonight.
1st and 10, Ticats at the Eskimo 47. Cavillo, Winfield again. And he missed.
And that's a ball he's got to complete. It was an easy roll to a right-handed quarterback side or right side, and boy, he should have been able to have Winfield easily. Look at the number, 72 touchdowns in his career.
57 receiving touchdowns. The remainder made up of kick returns, punt returns. Dieter Brock on the sidelines, really taking control of this Ticat offense.
Now Winfield has had a touchdown in all 4 of Hamilton's games this year.
2nd and 10. And is it picked up? No catch. Trent Brown scooped that one off the turf. And Cavillo paid the price.
Well, the official was right on the spot to watch Trent Brown, and you be the judge at home there. I think you see clearly that the ball came loose. But Cavillo's very fortunate. They had a miscommunication. Nobody in the area for that ball. I'm sure he and Dieter Brock will have a quick discussion on what he was looking at.
Paul Osbaldiston in again. 3 punts on Monday. He averaged 44 per kick. From the gizmo, Henry Williams.
Yeah, he got
wanted it out of bounds and got a bad bounce. I'd say a pretty good kick by Osbaldiston, just a wrong end of the football. 10-8. Eskimos lead the Ticats.
Welcome back. Minus David Combe, the Toronto Blue Jays are home to the Oakland Athletics tonight at Skydome. The roof's up. It's raining here in Toronto. And the Blue Jays, hey, they've won 2 in a row. They lead 1-0 in the 3rd inning of play. Al Eider with the start. Once again, Leiter 6-6 in the year.
CFL Live, brought to you in part by 3M Canada. Imagining the unthinkable and developing the unknown. That's 3M Innovation at Work.
Ticats adding one more point on a 67-yard Paul Osbaldiston single. It's a 2-point ball game. As Don Southern looks on the far side, the Eskimos are 1st and 10 at the 35. Kerwin Bell got on 9 of 15, 108 yards. He has thrown interceptions on the last 2 sequences. This is Michael Souls for close to 5, and he's pushed back by Phil Brook and Michael O'Shea.
And this is what Michael Souls and his offensive line can do to teams. I mean, that didn't look like much, but all of a sudden they pushed that pile, and for a pretty insignificant running play, they got a little better than 5 yards. My old buddy Jeff Reinbold beside Ron Lancaster handling receivers and special teams for the Eskimos.
2nd and 5, Bell uses the shotgun. And he has his man out near the 52-yard line. That's the newcomer, C.J. Davis.
Pass complete to C.J. Davis for the Edmonton.
Remember Mike Levenseller, a great receiver in the Canadian Football League. And
yes, sir, with the Eskimos.
Yeah, he coached in Edmonton, too. Well, he's now at Washington State, and he recommended C.J. Davis to the Eskimos.
On 1st down, Lucius Floyd takes a swing pass. And it takes a lot to bring him down, but Sean Smith finally got there after Lucius Floyd eluded about 4 Tiger Cat tackles.
That's about the best hit Sean Smith has had since he has been a Hamilton Tiger Cat, and he really had Lucius Floyd hung up and put the helmet up and through. And, you know, I think the heat's kind of on him. This is his 2nd game, and he really has to show tonight that he belongs. He belonged on that hit.
Loss of 14. Loss of 4, 2nd and 14. Here's Bell going for it all. And look for C.J. Davis. Greg Lane in on the coverage that time, and Bell ended up on the turf at Ivor Wynn.
Ticats doing something out of the ordinary here for them. They brought Roger Hennig all the way up on the safety blitz there. You see to the top of your screen, number 4 comes through and gets his arm on Kerwin Bell's knee just as he's beginning to throw the football. Really didn't allow him to step up into the pocket, but that's pretty uncharacteristic defensive move for Hamilton.
Harper's kick. Taken by Sam Rogers. And a marker down. No matter what Rogers does here, it's coming back. Illegal block after a 21-yard return. 37-yard punt. Rogers, who thrilled them here at Ivor Wynn on Monday night, won't get credit for these yards. There's the initial indication from referee George Black. Ticats trail the Eskimos 10-8 with 11:17 to go till halftime.
Illegal block. Hamilton, number 89. 1st down.
Ah, bullshit! You think Don liked the call?
No, I don't think he liked the call at all. Here's Andrew Grigg right here, and well, you know, they always say at special teams on returns, if you can't get the helmet in front, leave him alone. But as a young player, Andrew Grigg was trying to make a block and ends up putting his team in a real hole. Steve Taylor's in at quarterback.
Beginning at the 15 with Taylor at the controls. Taylor takes a hit and fired that one out of bounds. Steve Taylor has had a problem with injuries as a member of the Tiger Cats. 7 years in the CFL, came over to Hamilton hoping to find a job. He'd spent too long watching Doug Flutie from the sidelines in Calgary.
Well, you know, Hamilton really got healthy at quarterback in a hurry. Steve Taylor was the big free agent signing. Then all of a sudden they get Cavillo with their trading up in that dispersal draft pick. So throw in Mike Kerrigan. I mean, hey, they got some pretty quality guys, and this is a good chance for him to see if he can be their quarterback.
Tough spot. He's 2nd and 10 at the 15. But Taylor can ramble, and he takes off out of there. He'll get the 1st down. Willie Bless over to make the tackle. So you get a little more mobility with Steve Taylor at the controls. Checking for a penalty flag, and here's the call.
Offside. Hamilton, number 1. Second down, repeated.
Oh my gosh, Earl Winfield lined up offside.
Well, all of a sudden, for a team that really isn't an overly penalized team, the Ticats with the illegal block on Andrew Grigg, and now all of a sudden a Winfield penalty, and they are in a deep hole. You know, as the backup quarterback, this isn't exactly the kind of situation you want to come in and see on your first series.
Second and 15. Ticats now back at the 10. Taylor to his right. Into the end zone, throwing on the run as Winfield. And it'll be interesting late to see where they spot the ball.
I think it's going to be about a yard short, but Winfield ran a good pattern. It's just when Taylor kept scrambling and running, he kept working back to the quarterback and lost the first down yardage. Pressure from Leroy Blue as Taylor lets it go. But see, here's Winfield's problem. He's coming back. And initially he had the yardage, but then lost it as his quarterback scrambled even farther.
It's going to be very close for the Tiger Cats. Winfield saying he needed about a foot for the first down. We'll see how close he is to accurate with that suggestion as he waved a signal to the bench. Well, less than a yard.
I don't know what Don Southern's going to do. We're going to check, see what kind of pulse rate he's got. But this is a pretty tough spot on a wet field with your backup quarterback in. It's a gamble. Nice catch to stay in bounds.
9 years CFL experience that showed there for Winfield. Ticats go gambling. Third down, less than a yard to go. There was some early movement. Oh my gosh. Might have been Lee Knight. And Don Southern is upset.
Procedure, Hamilton, number 57. Third repeated.
That's Val St. Germain. So now there's no question. So a decision to be made. Ticats will kick it away.
Watch Val St. Germain at the top of your screen. He had a tough week last week, and now a mental error, and the errors keep mounting for the Ticats here. I mean, they're only down by 2, but, you know, this isn't a Don Southern type team. I'm going to tell you, he is burning at the boiling point right now because his teams don't make a lot of mental errors. Physical, yeah, you can accept that, but mental, no way.
Osborne done a great kick to Henry Williams at the 40. Here goes the Giz. He's out to midfield. 9:31 till halftime. 15-yard return for Henry Williams after a 50-yard kick. Don Southern and the Ticats down by a couple to Lancaster and the Eskimos.
Tomorrow, we will take you to Memphis. It's an 8:30 start. The Toronto Argonauts are in town. Kent Austin will not start in this football game. Paul Mazzotti will not play. Derek Branch is going to have to come up big. How about the Dogs? They have won 3 straight. They're going to be very, very tough tomorrow. I suspect they will be barking at home.
And back at Ivor Wynne, Eskimos with excellent field position to begin this drive right at midfield. Michael O'Shea and the Ticat defense ready and waiting. This is Michael Souls. He's been running hard and better than 5 yards on that carry. It was Marcus Cotton, number 50, who finally stopped Michael Souls. Pretty nice running game when you got Michael Souls from McGill and Lucius Floyd right there. Souls 5 carries for 40 yards. Nifty little average there. 8 per. Souls again. Seemed to be a little hesitation, but it didn't matter much as the Eskimos run right against that Tiger Cat front 4.
Well, it's a good scheme they're using, too, because they leave Souls in as the only back in an ace backfield, and they put Lucius Floyd out as a receiver. And, you know, what that does is spread that defense out just enough. So for Michael Souls, you know, good man blocking up front, let him pick his hole. You know, one little seam, and he's got a chance to pick up some good yardage. And, you know, so much of the offense is schemes and formations to create opportunities for someone. But lining up Floyd as a wide receiver gives Michael Souls a good chance to run the football.
Come on back, David. What?
That's big thing for Ron Lancaster in these situations. Make sure you get the right people in that you want in on short yardage. And they have a big team, and then they have their normal team out there. This is the normal team for short yardage.
They're down less than a yard to go for the Eskimos. Souls didn't get it on initial impact. Whether he got it the second time, we'll see when they spot the ball. Souls trying to go high. And a big running back like Souls doesn't exactly take flight as easily as some of the little guys.
Well, you know, he's 230 pounds, but watch, you'll see Sean Smith coming right here from this side, and along with Michael Souls, or rather Mike O'Shea, they're looking for Souls all the way. They find him. That's a good hit by Sean Smith. I'm impressed. That's second good one he's had in this game.
Second effort gives the Eskimos the first down. Lucius Floyd gets the call on 1st and 10 near the 45. Michael Philbrick was there with a tackle.
Mike Campbell.
And Mike Campbell.
Well, they have, Ticat defense hasn't had this for a little while. It looked like it's always been 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3. They finally get Edmonton into a 2nd and long situation and force Kerwin Bell, who's decided to use the running game, to obviously have to put it up.
7:36 to go till halftime. The Eskimos on top by 2. Bell facing 2nd and long. And he has Lucius Floyd. Floyd caught in the open field. Hassan Bailey was there. And so was Michael O'Shea.
Well, John, you and I talked in the opening that Lucius Floyd would be the focal point in this offense, and he certainly has been that, as much as a pass receiver as anything else. But, you know, against a defense like Hamilton's that likes to predominantly rush just 3 and 4 people, he's got to be the guy. You have to throw underneath the defense, and when Kerwin Bell has gone over the top of it, he's gotten into trouble tonight with 2 interceptions.
Rogers and Grigg are deep for the Tiger Cats. They're gambling again, and they have J.P. Esquerdo. Harper to Esquerdo, and Harper is 2 for 2. 17-yard pass that time for a first down. So the Eskimos have pulled out a few tricks from that kicking formation. First on a field goal for the touchdown, and here for the first down.
Yeah, and you really have to fault the Hamilton defense. I mean, you've been nailed once already. You've got to be thinking about it, and it's situations. I mean, that was the perfect situation for Edmonton to do it. I mean, they're past midfield. If it fails, I mean, what do you really give up? And for some reason, Hamilton on their special teams just weren't alert to that. Harper's 2 for 2. I mean, he's got a good arm going.
Best percentage passer in Canadian
football. He may
football.
move up to number 3 in the quarterback scheme.
Here's Kerwin Bell for Lucius Floyd, and Floyd is inside the 15. O'Shea and Hassan Bailey on the tackle. No doubt about it, Lucius Floyd is the story of the game for the Edmonton Eskimos.
Well, this really shows you why Kerwin Bell is throwing at 63%. Hey, this thing's only about 6 yards downfield. Easy one to see and pick up as he finds Floyd over the middle.
Edmonton, number 58. First
He'll
down.
come back. Holding call against Craig Hendrickson.
Craig Hendrickson, former Saskatchewan Rough Rider, was a free agent, went to the Buffalo Bills, didn't make the team, and Edmonton was really thrilled to get him for the final 8 games of last year.
1st and 20 facing Kerwin Bell. Little play action here. Bell unloads for Lucius Floyd. Hassan Bailey has had a pretty good game so far.
Hassan Bailey is an excellent football player, a defensive back to linebacker, and as Floyd sneaks out, he's got a man for man and comes up and makes the good solid hit. Here you see Floyd. Now, he's just trying to lose himself in there and all of a sudden pop out from nowhere, but Bailey is watching him, eyeballing him all the way, and comes up and makes a good hit.
2nd and 18. Eskimos at the Tiger Cat 33. 5 receiver set for Edmonton as Bell looks for Mazzoli. Carter almost had the deflection.
Good defense by Sam Rogers, the halfback who had the big punt return last week. Here he is down here, and as Mazzoli tries to go over the top, Rogers just snugs right in there on his hip, and when the ball is thrown, he's able to get up and make the play. But, you know, that's what you have to do to Mazzoli. Get up there in his face and be aggressive with him, and you could take him out of the game in a hurry. And Rogers did just that with the physical play, and they almost got the pick out of it.
Harper holding. Fleming will kick this one from 40 yards away. Sean Fleming is on target. And it'll be another 3 points for the visiting Eskimos. Fleming has a 40-yard field goal. Edmonton on top by 5. It's 13-8, and Ivor wins. Ticats dodged another bullet. It could be worse, folks. Edmonton on top, 13-8.
Boy, you really hit the nail on the head. It's 10 points off fake field goals.
Baseball tonight, tomorrow, the pregame show. Well, I guess it's tomorrow afternoon, 1 Eastern. Jays and the A's from Skydome.
Minus David Cole.
Yes, the deal today.
Love the style Lancaster's used tonight. The fake field goal for a touchdown, fake punt resulted in 3 points. Hey, the team is not really functioning at 100% on offense, and that's partly due to Hamilton's style of defense. They're not really giving Edmonton a heck of a lot, but hey, those are 10 big points out of your 13 on special teams.
With Kerwin Bell at the controls, you get an idea that this is more a Ron Lancaster style football team, a little more reminiscent of the old Rough Riders, is it not?
Kerwin's a little taller, but they play kind of the same.
Here's Sam Rogers returning for the Tiger Cats, and he can't get past the 22. 18 yards after a 70-yard kickoff. Dieter Brock talking it over with Steve Taylor there as Rogers a little slow to get up. And there's another marker down. We've had a few of those tonight.
10876. Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Hamilton and Edmonton, first down.
Well, I guess 2 guys got into a fight and not much changes. Penalties each way. They'll leave the ball right where it was. Eskimos with almost 200 yards so far. The Ticats still trying to gain 60.
I guess it's even more amazing that the Ticats only trail by 5.
Ticats' only touchdown came from the defense with Eric Carter's 101-yard interception return. 4 receivers to the near side. Taylor swings it out to Kalen Hall. He'll have the first down. Ruff made the tackle near the 35.
And that's the game plan Hamilton put in for this game tonight. Get Kalen Hall involved with those swing passes. Hey, it's just like Edmonton's doing. It's high percentage. Look at this. All he has to throw is 10 yards to complete the ball, and now you make the defense play. They got to come up and make the tackle, and he breaks a few, and it's an easy first down.
Ticats out across the 35 at the 36. This is Steve Taylor. Looks to the far side, on target over there for Andrew Gregg. And Gregg breaks the tackle, still going as he nears midfield. Andrew Gregg, number 89.
What a great story he is. You know, most guys go to play junior football, then go to university. He played 2 years at the University of Ottawa and then went to junior football. Was signed by Hamilton a year ago. They cut him before camp even started. He tried to get back this year, came down through a few balls with Dieter Brock, and Brock said, hey, this guy's got some pretty good hands. Let's give him a shot. Look it, he's starting tonight. That's a nice story.
Yeah, it's his first start. He's played all 4 games for the Ticats, but gets an opportunity to start tonight. This is Kalen Hall away from the first tackle and can't get away from the next wave of Eskimos. Mobley was there, number 27.
Mobley on the tackle.
Kalen Hall only a couple of games with Las Vegas last year before he blew out a knee, but in those 2 games had well over 200 yards rushing. So, you know, certainly Hamilton was willing to take a chance on those credentials. Only 5'8", but he's 203 pounds and very strong in the upper body. Can take the punishment.
Only a gain of 1 on the previous play for Hall. This is 2nd and 9 facing Steve Taylor here. Here comes the charge from the Eskimos as Taylor eludes it and finds Earl Winfield at the 35, the 45.
That's a tough one from our vantage point. That really looked like a catch. Pretty strong throw by Taylor on the run, too. He was being hounded. And, boy, you'll be the judge here. think that's a catch.
I do too, Lever.
You know, the thing is, he got the two hands down on the ground underneath it to scoop it. And, you know, yeah, maybe the ball touched part of the ground, but he had really made the catch on that one. Yeah, he kind of got jobbed on that. I don't blame you. Urban Bowman, you know, he's the veteran coach. Okay, hey, you maybe got messed up on that one, but just settle down, though.
Here's Osbaldiston on third down. Baker to return. Markers are down early. O'Shea on the tackle on Shalon Baker. 2:50 to go. It'll halftime. We'll sort out the penalties when we return to Iverwin Stadium in Hamilton, where the Ticats trail the Eskimos. It's 13-8.
Here at CFL Control, we are getting ready for the McDonald's halftime. We will talk about the Toronto Argonauts and their quarterbacking problems. Dave Sapungis, what a season he's having. And John and Leaf will give us their first half thoughts thus far. Let's head out to Iverwin Stadium, where the Eskimos continue to lead narrowly.
Ticats are having problems both sides of the football and on special teams. Earl Winfield in the back. You can see him here. Leaf and I think he should have been awarded a catch for that. He was not.
When your offense is struggling, you need all the breaks you can get, and they certainly didn't get a break right there.
And then, on the ensuing punt, no yards charged against Nick Mazzoli. That gives the Eskimos a little better field position just inside the Edmonton 40 at the 38. Here's Kerwin Bell. Little heat on Bell. Can't get it away. Philbrick was there, number 99. Michael Philbrick. Couple of sacks coming into the game for Philbrick. Won't get credit for one there, but he gets credit for the play.
Well, it was just enough to force Kerwin Bell to throw it away. Mike Philbrick has turned himself into a very fine defensive tackle in a hurry. Hamilton now takes Philbrick out. They're only going to rush 3 people and try and force Bell to throw underneath the coverage on second and long.
Kerwin Bell, shotgun. Can't find anyone open till Floyd breaks away, and Floyd is met by Michael O'Shea with 2:25 to go till halftime.
Now this is what Hamilton makes you do. Here's Floyd right here. Watch him just circle, because everybody drops deep and they only rush 3 people. And when that happens, you know, as a quarterback, you just can't force it in downfield. You have to bite the bullet and do what Kerwin Bell does right there. Now that's Floyd's 10th catch in the first half, but he's only gained slightly over 60 yards. And I think Hamilton's very content to let him do that.
Third down, a yard to go. The Eskimos won't try any funny stuff here on their side of midfield. 2:25 till the half. Harper, 2 for 2 as a passer tonight. He has a touchdown. This one bouncing back. Rogers, Parker's everywhere. Mobley led the tacklers for the Eskimos. 5-yard return. And the punt really traveled only 17 yards. Maybe the Ticats get the break they've been waiting for here.
No yards. Number 27, Edmonton. 5 yards, first down.
5 yards in the bounce back, Lever.
Old senior Mobley right there, and on the bounce back, see, he just can't get out of the way in time. That's a good call. Only give him 5 yards. But yeah, he can hit you.
Rogers played it well too as the receiver.
That's a great opportunity for Hamilton. Terrific field position for Steve Taylor, and you have to like the way Taylor has thrown the football since he's come in relief of Anthony Cavillo.
From the 50, Ticats 1st and 10. Taylor with time. He has Barry Rose, and Rose is bulldog. Holland went high on Barry Rose. This is his first start in the Canadian Football League. Some last week.
One of the great features of the 2 halfbacks for Edmonton is their ability to come up and really put a hit on people. And I think Barry Rose took a good old stranglehold right around the neck. But hey, that's what Robert Holland will do to you. Created a fumble early in the first quarter. Now a pretty solid hit.
Gain is 9, 2nd and 1. Ticats trying to get across the 50. Kalen Hall will have the first down. And Larry Ruck made the tackle. Ruck with a couple of interceptions and a sack so far this season. Has been playing terrific football as usual for the Eskimos.
Well, Steve Taylor at quarterback is a pretty interesting situation. You know, he just had no playing time in Calgary, so really when he became a free agent in Hamilton, you know, they thought he was going to be a good quarterback, but I mean, last year, you know, he only threw 39 passes the whole year, so like you think he's good, but you're never quite sure because playing behind Flutie, he never got a chance.
1st and 10, Tiger Cats at the Eskimo 48. Kalen Hall, this time a bigger hole. Willie Pless has to come over and make the tackle. Ticats have found a bit of a running game.
And they've gone to the quick hitters where you don't have to sustain your block that long. A little trap that time by Blaine Schmidt, the left guard. But, you know, that's good for an offensive line. As long as you engage your man and you've got an elusive back like Hall, I mean, he has a chance to make some yardage on the quick hits.
Now at the Edmonton 38. And this time it's Taylor himself. He was running all the way. A little quarterback draw there as he gets the Tiger Cats down to the Edmonton 20. Stopped by the safety, Trent Brown, last line of resistance.
And this is the other dimension that Steve Taylor will give you when he comes in at quarterback that Cavilla doesn't have. Look at, hey, right there. That is the lane, quarterback draw, enough steps backwards that when the linebackers drop, now he's got some room to run. And boy, he has generated a nice drive here all of a sudden for Hamilton.
Down to the Eskimo 23 with a first down. Taylor stands in all kinds of time now. He'll take out. Needs a block, and he got one. Inside the 15, Lawler over to make the tackle.
One thing you like to see is wide receivers try to help out a quarterback on a run. Barry Rose, the rookie slotback, saw Larry Ruck coming across the field, and boy, he got a pretty nifty block on him to let Steve Taylor get an extra few yards.
Taylor gets 8. This is 2nd and 2, Tiger Cats. Set up at the Edmonton 15. This is Kalen Hall. Tries to string it out to the outside. Marker is down.
Somebody looking after these guys?
The referee tonight is George Black.
Yeah, they're with me.
Melvin Hunter in on the tackle.
Holding, Hamilton, number 66. 2nd down repeated.
That's the former Argo Blaine Schmidt.
Well, they call it on Blaine Schmidt, number 66, the left guard. Now, here he is. You be the judge. Coming down the line of scrimmage. Yeah, he puts the hook out on Larry Ruck, I believe, too. He knows he's beaten to the inside.
Ticats with 30 seconds on the clock till halftime. 2nd and 12. Hall, he's down to the 5. Taylor playing with great confidence right now. This has been a terrific drive. Errol Martin made the tackle.
Well, they said they wanted to get the ball into his hands, and they've been able to do it here in the 2nd quarter, and that's a terrific throw by Steve Taylor, anticipating where Hall is going to be, connecting, 6 catches. Hey, he's getting the job done tonight.
16 seconds till halftime. 1st and goal to go. Ticats at the Eskimo 5. Touchdown catch of the season for Earl Winfield. And you know, when you get a hot night and maybe you get a couple of touchdowns in one game, that's one thing. But when you catch a touchdown in the first 5 games for your team, that's something else, and that's Earl Winfield.
Well, Morris Lawler, the corner, you know, usually down at goal line, you're looking at a little bump and run coverage, but he, for some reason, decided to lay off and gave Winfield all kinds of room to the inside in the post. And, you know, we saw Hamilton at Memphis the other night, and now in almost 2 quarters of play, that's the best looking drive Hamilton's had in 6 quarters of football.
Certainly 6 quarters that we've witnessed
Timeout.
live.
Edmonton.
Ticats started out very solidly this season with 2 straight wins and played very well in the opening 2 games.
Yeah, let's have a look at Earl Winfield's touchdown. See Lawler giving him all kinds of room, and he jumps to the outside for some reason. And hey, that's a piece of cake for Winfield. I could still run one of those when corner gives you that kind of room. Steve Taylor, look at the eyeballs. He's going to the main man right away, and you don't think he's lucky? Went right between a defensive lineman's arms and into the arms of Earl Winfield.
Well, a little something to cheer about. There were a few tough moments as Taylor celebrates a great drive for the Tiger Cats. You see the cast he's got on his left hand. That's limited his availability for the Tiger Cats. 6 of 8 for 78 yards, Steve Taylor in relief of Anthony Cavillo. Ticats going for 2. Lee Knight stopped at the 1. Darian Hagan made the stop on Lee Knight at the 1-yard line. It wasn't a terrific looking play. Knight bobbled it, never really could get control.
Had he not had to reach high in the air, Lee Knight may have been able to duck his shoulder down and get into the end zone, but that little extra extension didn't allow him to prepare for the hit by Hagan. And to Hagan's credit, he made up a good solid tackle that allowed Knight to go no further.
Lee Knight a little off balance. Hagan coming up with the stop on the 2-point converts. Hagan, the only brand new member of the Eskimos secondary. As it stands right now, Ticats have a 1-point lead, and the kickoff should be the final play of the opening half. Earl Winfield, 1 touchdown in every game for the Ticats so far in 1995. This one looked a little easier than some, but still he makes the catch.
You know, sometimes you need a little bit of luck, John. Watch that.
Oh.
He goes right through the arms of Melvin Hunter on the pass rush. Take a look at that. I mean, hey, Ticats need a bit of a break, and they get one right there, and boom, that's a field goal through the arms, and then a touchdown to Winfield.
Earl Winfield's 58th touchdown reception as a member of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Well, it's not over the first half because Giz has his hands on the football. Henry Williams up to the 25, and not much there. He got to the 27 with unofficially 1 second to go. Brian McCurdy leading the Ticat tacklers that time. First 6 drives, 58 yards. The last 2, 101 with Taylor at the controls.
He has made an impact in a hurry. And, you know, for Steve Taylor, you have to be happy for him because, you know, he's getting his chance to play. And, I mean, you can only do so much in practice to show the coaches that, hey, maybe you can read defenses or you're good at this or good at that. You need to get in the game and play. And that was a beautiful 8-play, 60-yard drive. The quarterback draw played a big factor in it. He has taken control nicely.
He ran the football a little bit, Steve Taylor. And the Ticats have the lead heading to the dressing room at halftime. Looked a little dicey for Ticat fans much of the way in the first half. But Taylor ignited the offense, and Hamilton has a 14-13 lead at the half at Ivor Wynn. Coming up, the McDonald's halftime show with Darren Detition.
McDonald's Halftime, presented by your local McDonald's restaurant. Here's Darren Detition.
Welcome to McDonald's Halftime. Tomorrow, the Memphis Mad Dogs will try and make it 4 straight wins as they take on the Toronto Argonauts. And for the Boltmen, this has been an all-too-familiar occurrence. Kent Austin will not start in tomorrow's game due to an aggravated groin pull. So Eric White once again gets the call. And while Austin could play if need be, Toronto will not press the issue. You can see that game right here on TSN, 8:30 Eastern Time. The pressure will be squarely upon White's shoulders, and he knows he has to play better.
I think as a quarterback, particularly here in the CFL, you have to get your team in a position to win. Your job's very important. You're asked to make plays, and that's pretty much your job description. And when you fall short of that, you're letting not only yourself down but the team down. So that's why I bring a lot of it upon myself. I just feel that you know, it just had to be consistent. You just can't come out 1 week and have a good game like we did a few weeks ago, and then come out 2 weeks straight and just not play up to par. So that's what I talk about, my consistency, and I'm pretty disappointed in myself in that, and hopefully I can redeem myself.
It just seems like since the first practice of training camp, when we lost 2 offensive linemen for the whole camp, that it's just been something every week, 1 week or another and stuff. But you know, this is the CFL and you got 37 guys, so it's going to happen usually somewhere along the line, and you just hope that the people that you have as replacements do the job. And we've done a real good job for the most part with that. It just came up short a couple times.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders will play host to San Antonio on Sunday. The first 4 games of the CFL season, the Riders have been abysmal offensively. The combination of Warren Jones and Tom Burgess have only thrown 1 touchdown while tossing 8 interceptions. Ray Yock has not said who will start. Can you blame him? Maybe he should go with Don Narcisse. Why Don Narcisse, you ask? Well, he's thrown the longest Saskatchewan reception this year, 33 yards. It has been a rough ride for the Saskatchewan offense. 64 points scored, they are last. Touchdowns scored, 3, they are last. Passing TDs, 1, they are last. Hey, they're 11th. In average yards per game with 302. Now, as we have mentioned before, there is one other game tonight for you. As the Shreveport Pirates are in Calgary, Mike Johnson will make his second start for the Pirates as they face the toughest team in the league. Calgary is the #1 offense, the #1 defense. They are 25-point favorites. In 2 previous meetings, the Stamps are averaging 50 points against the Pirates. We will have highlights of that contest when it begins a little later on this evening. Okay, we're going to take a short break, but when McDonald's halftime continues, we will take a look at much more, including Leaf and John's first half reaction. We leave you with the CFL's Top Gun. Stay tuned. We're back in just a few moments. Welcome back to McDonald's halftime. His teammates describe him as a player. Dave Sapunjas, he is not blessed with blazing speed or amazing hands, but he is without a doubt one of the best receivers in the CFL. His league-leading 32 receptions adhere to that.
I mean, expansion has been dramatic over the last few years, and going into the States has been exciting as far as I'm concerned. Initially, I wasn't too keen on expansion, but now I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy going to places like Memphis, San Antonio, and Birmingham, and seeing some different places that I never would have had the opportunity. One concern, of course, is when we expand, what happens to the Canadian player, the ratio? Are they going to change it? Well, they haven't yet, but they might a year or 2 down the road. And if that happens, I will be outspoken about not doing it, because I think if that does happen, we're going to lose some talented Canadian players.
On second down, Flutie looks deep for Sapunjas, touchdown!
Relationship off the field is great. We spend some time together, we have fun, you know, we go out catch some flicks with I go with my girlfriend, his wife. We enjoy doing things together. On the field, it's a real unique relationship. I do not run the best patterns in the league, but I know when Doug Flutie has to get the ball to me or when he's in trouble, and I can always sense that, and he senses that with me. We played together for 3 years now, and that makes it a very experienced tandem between the 2 of us. And I know when I've got to get things done, he knows when he can come to me, and that makes things a lot easier when I'm on the field. We won a Grey Cup. We learned from that. We gained great experience. Then losing 2 Western Finals was devastating. I mean, you talk to every player on this team, and we truly believe that we were the best team the last 3 years, but the best team doesn't always win. Other teams rise up to the occasion like BC did last year. But I think that we've learned from that in the way that you'll find this team will really aim to peak throughout the season at the end of the year. I think traditionally over the last few years, we seem to take off and go 6-0, 10-0, whatever, and then we really don't get better from there. Our key this year is to peak at the end of the year, so come playoff time, we are the best team in the league, and we know that, and we can feel that on the field, so that we're going to win those playoff games and get back into a Grey Cup. I've always wanted to work in the off season, and I've always done that because something can be taken away from me anytime. I can, you know, something might happen to the CFL, something might happen to the Stampeders, something might happen physically to myself. So I'm ready to move on after football. And what I have done over the last few seasons is that I have been involved with broadcasting in Toronto, and I think that has opened some doors for me. I have done a lot of community work, a lot of stuff in Calgary, and I know there are people interested in hiring me working in downtown Calgary when I finish my career. So the doors have opened up for me, and I'll have to take advantage of them in the off season so that when I do finish football, I can step into something right away.
Sponge having a great season. We expect him to have a great game against the Shreveport Pirates. 32 catches, 516 yards, 3 touchdowns. We'll take a short break. When McDonald's halftime continues, we'll get John and Leaf's second half thoughts. 14-13 Ticats.
Tom Wilkinson played 15 seasons in the CFL, but is best remembered for his 10 years with Edmonton. As an Eskimo, Wilkinson never missed a game, was chosen to the CFL All-Star team 3 times, and played in 8 Grey Cup games, coming away victorious 5 times. You can see more on Wilkinson and other CFL legends at the Canadian Football Hall of Fame in Hamilton.
McDonald's Halftime, brought to you by your local McDonald's restaurant.
Welcome back to McDonald's Halftime. Some interesting elements in the first half, and our game story basically reads like this. Lucius Floyd, we know he is the all-purpose back. He comes out with 68 yards after the first half. How about Carter and the 101-yard interception return? And Taylor in relief, last 2 drives, 101 yards. He's been doing the job for him. Could have been a lot worse for the Ticats, but hey, now they've got the lead 14-13. Let's go to John and Leaf for their thoughts.
All right, Darren, Lucius Floyd did, in fact, make several catches in the first half, but the Ticat defense did a pretty good job on him.
Well, you know, he caught 10 balls, but for only 63 yards. That's exactly what the Ticats wanted. They played right into the Ticat defense's hands.
And Steve Taylor gets a chance, comes in relief of Anthony Cavillo, and really engineered a solid drive. Here are the numbers on Steve Taylor, who gets a chance tonight, 6 of 8 for 78.
And what an astute move by the Ticat coaching staff. Hard to know if it was Dieter Brock, the offensive coordinator, or Don Southern, who just said, hey, we need a switch in there. But, boy, you could just feel the flow of the game switch when he came in. And, you know, his arm was great, made some good throws, but it was his running ability that really changed the momentum of the game.
I don't know what to expect in the second half. We've seen fake field goals, fake punts. The Eskimos have 10 points as a result of that. We'll continue with the second half from Ivor Wynn as we send you back now to CFL Control.
Hey, thanks very much, gentlemen. That'll do it for McDonald's Halftime. Coming up next, the second half. Stay tuned.
Tackle the guy. First turnover of the night, setting the Eskimos up nicely at the 31. First down. Kerwin Bell, play action, standing in. He's picked up. Eric Carter. Here's Carter, wing to the far side. He's got a blocker or 2 out in front. No markers down. Eric Carter still going. Can he go all the way? No flags down, folks. Ticats' first touchdown of the ball game, and then they got one late to get back on top of the Edmonton Eskimos at 14-13. Eric Carter, 4th interception of the season, and that was his biggest, obviously. Rushing yardage almost even there, Lee. 49 for the Eskimos, 43 for the Tiger Cats. That number for the Ticats is pretty big when you look back over the last couple of games.
Well, it is, and that's why it's highlighted. You know, they only had 20 rushing yards against Memphis, but now tonight with Kalen Hall running it and now Steve Taylor's ability to run, the rushing yards, I mean, although they're not great, have improved. And I think Ron Lancaster, you see the concern on his face, and rightfully so. I mean, they had a chance to dominate this game early and into the second quarter. All of a sudden, Hamilton's been let up off the ground, and Edmonton's in for a real dogfight.
Here's Henry Williams beginning at the 25. Is his due, not this time, out near the 42. A 19-yard return.
Well, the problem's compounded for Kerwin Bell. Those are his numbers in one half of play, but really, you know, we talked about it. They want to throw inside the corners. That means they're really not counting on their wide receivers for a lot of offense. But although Floyd has caught 10 balls, they haven't been any of the variety that have hurt the Hamilton defense. Hamilton's kept everything in front of them. So now what do you do in the second half? Where do you go now?
Well, maybe to the outside guys. Or
yeah,
maybe
but they had 2 interceptions when he threw to his wide receivers.
Here's Bell on first down. He's He's got C.J. Davis, and Davis is grabbed from behind by Don Robinson.
Robinson on the tackle.
Davis, one of the new receivers in the Eskimo scheme of things, with 10 catches for 139 yards coming in.
Well, I think that might be the plan. You know, you've worked Floyd to death in the first half. No success outside. Hey, maybe it's time for Mazzoli and C.J. Davis to catch some balls.
That was enough for a first down. Far side, and it's batted away by Derek Greer. Shalon Baker was the intended receiver. Greer, pretty solid night so far. Shalon Baker, 22 receptions, 359 yards coming into the game. They're very high on this guy. He's made an impact in every game. Good hands, great patterns, and throws the odd block out there, too.
Yeah, I like what they called him at the University of Montana. They called him simply the touchdown maker. That's not a bad handle.
Bell is down, and he got it away. Cotton was there. Third sack of the season. Well, he doesn't get credit for the sack, I should say. 2 sacks on the season, but he forced a wide throw.
And here comes Marcus Cotton from right in here on the loop. That's a good stunt for the Ticat defense to give Edmonton a different look. He loops all the way around and comes clean up the middle. Good pressure on Kerwin Bell that time.
Harper's kick is high. This is Andrew Gregg. Out across the 25 to about the 27. 6-yard return. Trent Brown leading the Eskimo tacklers.
Brown on the tackle.
Well,
Steve Taylor.
First down, Tiger Cats on their 27.
Well, it shows you that he was able to generate something in a hurry, and you know, it's worth repeating. The ability to run with the football all of a sudden multiplies the problems that a defense has to deal with. They didn't have that when Cavillo was in there, but now they're thinking, hey, this guy can take off at any time. It loosens the defense up a little bit.
Quad set this time with 4 receivers to the near side. Kalen Hall gets the call. Hall got a block, cuts it back in, and Holland recovered loose ball. Holland recovered to make the tackle. The Eskimos say they have it, but it's going to be Ticat football.
Save your energy, guys. Play's over.
Rogers and Jude St. John, that's a bit of a mismatch there. The indication was that the Tiger Cats retained possession of the football. And that's exactly what it'll be.
Well, Holland created the fumble initially. Watch, he gets up off the ground, slaps it loose right there, but you know, if you're able to follow Kalen Hall, you lose him for a little bit. He ends up coming back and really makes the recovery on that play.
They'll call it a gain of 4, making this 2nd and 6 for Steve Taylor and the Ticats. Out across the 30. Taylor on target for Earl Winfield. What a nice pass.
And Morris Lawler, the corner, really has decided to play soft coverage on Earl Winfield. I don't know if it's the slippery field or the fact that Earl Winfield's pretty slippery himself, but this in pattern is open, has been open all night long. And what a good throw by Taylor. Good protection. He's able to step up and deliver. It's like, look at that. He delivers off his left foot, and that means you get tons of velocity on the football.
And Rock was almost there in time. 19-yard gain for the Ticats out of the 50. Taylor for Rose. Markers are down. As Rose crosses the 50, stopped by Willie Bless.
Billy Rose.
Is that what you're calling him?
Bless on the
We'll
tackle.
check out the infraction back near the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Hamilton, number 66. First down repeated.
Blaine Schmidt wears number 66 for the Ticats in 1995. Don Southern on the sidelines, not happy with the call. It'll be 1st and 20.
That's tough break because that was a nicely executed screen to the slot back Rose. All of a sudden now, you know, you little mistake here and there, you're 1st and 20, which is tough against Edmonton.
Taylor back in a hurry, has Lee Knight. Knight away from 1. And pretty good move by Knight to get about 8 yards back on 1st and 20.
What an underrated receiver Lee Knight has become for the Ticats. That's his 11th catch of the season. He's averaging over 20 yards a reception. I said to him the other night, I mean, am I misreading these statistics? What gives? You're a fullback. But he said, well, it's just worked out that way. He's kicked in with a couple of touchdowns. So, he has done everything they asked him. He will not carry the ball, has yet to run it this year, but been a pretty valuable pass receiver.
2nd and 14. Taylor operating from the shotgun. And he has Lee Knight again. Back to back. Lee Knight. And he comes up with enough for a first down. It was 1st and 20, and Knight got his hands on the ball twice.
And a lot of times Lee Knight is the third receiver when they go trips to the field, and what a good job as a fullback to get down and read the open zone area. I mean, he is not only a good blocking back, but he understands the passing game and made himself a good target for Taylor to find, and 2 receptions, picks them up a first down out of 1st and 20. That's unbelievable.
Here's Taylor, and this is Kalen Hall. Ticats can run the football. Spotting that around the 40.
The quick hitter that the Ticats have had success with tonight is the trap, and they've used Blaine Smith, the left guard. Kalen Hall with some pretty decent numbers. That was the game plan, and they've been able to do it.
9 on the previous play, making this 2nd and 1 Tiger Cats. Taylor keeps himself for a first down, Hamilton. No markers anywhere.
For head coach Don Southern, I mean, talk about one strategic move changing the flow of a game. I mean, just the quarterback switch to Steve Taylor, and all of a sudden it's been all Hamilton, and Edmonton has been pretty quiet since the middle of the 2nd quarter. That's the reason why. I mean, that's a near flawless performance in very limited playing time.
Taylor looking at 1st and 10 at the Eskimo 36. He's getting time to throw. And he has Andrew Grigg. Grigg spins away. Now he lost the ball. It's loose, trickling into the end zone where the Eskimos will come up with it. Robert Holland recovering in the end zone. Grigg tried to make the one extra move. Southern a little upset. Pretty nice looking play, but Grigg lost the ball. Robert Holland comes up with it for the Eskimos.
That's the 3rd time that the Eskimo defense has stripped the ball loose from a receiver. Watch as Grigg takes off with it. Here comes the hand in, and tough to see. I think it was Morris Lawler knocked it loose. Tough play. Andrew Grigg did everything perfectly on that pass pattern, just wasn't able to hang on at the end. Now, if he's a smart guy, he's going to remember that when he feels the pressure. He's going to take 2 hands and cover it up.
This is CFL Live from Iverwin in Hamilton. It's a 1-point game. We're in the 3rd quarter. Eskimos dodge a bullet. The Ticats looked hot to begin the 2nd half. Andrew Grigg's fumble sets the Eskimos up with a first down at the 25. It was recovered by Robert Holland in the end zone, and Andrew Grigg's the unhappiest Ticat in Steeltown right now.
Well, you hope, from a coaching standpoint as a young player that, he'll learn from that mistake. Everything was right, but just cover it up and don't cough it up like that again.
Eskimos first down, beginning at the 25. Kerwin Bell has to escape, finds Lucius Floyd, and he's surrounded by Tiger Cats. Mike Campbell was the first there, and he got help from that guy, Eric Carter, who had the big touchdown run first half.
I told you before the game, he averages over 108 yards a game all-purpose. Tonight, only 67. Now, he doesn't return as many kicks as he used to, so that average may go down the longer he plays.
Loss of 1 for the Eskimos. This is 2nd and 11. Kerwin Bell, shotgun, stands in, fires. Sandusky, hang on, it's Baker. And they say no catch with Carter covering on Shalon Baker, number 5.
Nice catch by Shalon Baker. Good move to get the hips turned on Eric Carter, but you be the judge. You see the knees touching when he makes the catch. That's an excellent call by the official. See, he's right on the spot, too. I mean, the official's geared right in to make the perfect call.
Harper gets a high one away. This is Andrew Grigg at the 34, and not much after that. Solid special teams tackle by Jed Roberts. 0 on the return. Eskimos net 52, but there are markers down.
The Montreal Expos are home to Colorado tonight as Larry Walker makes his return to Montreal. It is currently 4-1 in the 4th inning of play. The Expos kind of taking it off the chin, although they have won 9 of their last 13. Let's go back to Ivor Wynne Stadium for the 3rd quarter as it continues.
Ticats by a point. Center of attention right now, Melvin Hunter, number 46.
That's pretty silly penalty, you know. The play is over, and like, here's Melvin Hunter here, and Rob Hitchcock here. Now, Hitchcock has blocked Dixon from behind, and you know, Hunter takes exception to it. I mean, now we're not talking a real physical abuse there, but the fact is, George Black, as the head referee, told me before the game, he will not put up with these scrums after a play. He said, I had it happen in the Calgary-BC game I officiated, and I nipped it in the bud right there, and so, hey, when the guys want to do it tonight, they're going to get the penalties. George Black has made it very clear to them.
So that sets the Tiger Cats up with a penalty tacked on out at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 from there. No scoring so far in the second half. Steve Taylor getting chased here, and he looks over the middle and finds Rose. Rose is stopped short of the 1st down by Willie Pless.
CFL Live, brought to you in part by The Keg, where good friends get together to enjoy great steaks and share some fun.
Ivor Wynne and Hamilton. Ticats facing 2nd down and a long yard to go. Almost 2. Can't find any running room that time. Larry Ruck stuffed it. Number 47.
Well, when you have a close game like this, Hamilton ahead by a point, you know, field position battle really starts to weigh as a large factor in this. And even though they didn't get the 1st down, a good look at life in the trenches right there. Larry Ruck fights off a block, and then Kalen Hall goes no further. That's the measure of whether a linebacker can really stick you. How far does that back go when you've made contact? And Hall never went anywhere. But Osbaldiston now has a chance to really pin Edmonton deep. And, you know, Hamilton, for the most part, had good field position in the second half.
Osbaldiston kicking into a slight breeze with Henry Williams standing back. Here is 13.
You know, this is one of the reasons why you'll never see a punt team huddle before they kick, because now they have to see the adjustments the punt team is making. They have time on the clock when they just come out and go right to the line of scrimmage.
A wobbly kick this time, bouncing down to the giz at the 10. Henry Williams steps out at the 19. Barry Rose over to chase him out after an 8-yard return. 41-yard kick. And now Kerwin Bell.
Yeah, he's always worth a replay, Henry Williams, even if he doesn't break the long one. And boy, I don't think Hamilton's kick cover teams are just thinking every time, spread out, cover all those lanes. And Barry Rose, number 80, the slot back, gets across and makes the play. Here's the problem for Edmonton's offense right now. I mean, hey, Bell's completing balls, but they're not getting it downfield. And the one thing that this offense lacks right now is the running quarterback. And a quarterback can run against this Hamilton defense, but they don't have it.
This is Mazzoli, and he slipped on the end around.
Turf Monster got him.
Turf Monster.
That Turf Monster hides here at Ivor Wynne, just inside the 20-yard line at the north end. And it snuck up and grabbed him by the foot.
Eskimos are trying a little bit of everything here tonight.
You see the concern on Ron Lancaster's face. You see now they've gone to plan A, they've gone to plan B. They don't have a whole lot of other plans now. So, you know, Kerwin Bell's going to have to find some slot backs in a hurry downfield.
2nd and 9 for Bell now. Looking to throw, and he has Scholes. Hassan Bailey. Solid for the Ticats all night long.
has been everywhere. Oliver Michael Souls right there. With 5:04 to go, third quarter. Eskimos set to kick it away again.
And here's Michael Souls, and it's the play action, and he will just filter out this way, but against the Hamilton defense, you see Mike O'Shea really never loses sight of anybody, neither does Hassan Bailey. They're dropping back about 6-8 yards, keeping everything in front of them, and unless the running back makes an unbelievable play, he's not going to pick up any first downs.
Big kick for Harper, chasing Greg back, and he may not get a play on this one. He doesn't. Andrew Gregg out of bounds. 63-yard kick for Harper. Ticats by 1, and Ivor win.
Because you wear them till their tongues hang out, Micotin penetrates the skin to kill athlete's foot.
Worried look for Ron Lancaster right now. He's down by a point, which is certainly not insurmountable with 4:51 to go third quarter, but you're talking about where do the Eskimos go next? They haven't had much success to move the football offensively. Standings in the CFL North. Stampeders on top. Lions with a win yesterday. Right behind with one more game played. Edmonton at 3-1, followed by Hamilton. So the game is rather important to the Tiger Cats tonight, having lost 2 in a row.
Well, you see, Edmonton 3-1, Hamilton 2-2. These divisional games now in this new setup, have an even greater importance. Hamilton has a chance to tie themselves with Edmonton in standing.
Steve Taylor first down for Barry Rose. Broke one tackle out near the 50. Robert Holland caught up to drag down Rose, who's seen some action late for the Ticats. But this is his first start, 25 yards on that play.
Yeah, 9th straight completion for Steve Taylor. And I'm going to tell you, you see a lot of probably what John Hufnagel helped him with the last few years in Calgary of reading defenses. As soon as Rose cleared the defensive back, that ball was in the air. No hesitation, no hesitating in reading the coverage and delivering the strike to the perfect spot.
Ticats first down at the 49. With a double pass ahead for Hall. Markers are down as Hall crosses the 50. See what the penalty was about, and it looks to be going against the Tiger Cats.
Holding, Hamilton, number 66. First down and 8.
Boy, it's been a tough night for Blaine. Playing in his 100th game, has a couple of calls against him tonight.
Number 100 won't be that memorable.
No.
He was firing out on Willie Pless, and as Pless ducked underneath him, he put the hook on him. That's the one thing as an offensive lineman, referees look for one thing. You can engage the guy, and if you kind of snug into him and grab him, you probably get away with it. But once your arms are extended and they see that grab, they're going to call it every time.
Ticats facing 1st and 20. This is Andrew Gregg. Surrounded quickly. Pless made the tackle, but Robert Holland had him cornered.
You see Andrew Gregg that time when the pressure was coming and the heat was on.
Was he hanging out of the ball?
Yes, he put 2 hands in the ball. He's a quick learner. Well, I like the way Steve Taylor's controlled this offense. You just have to know that he's comfortable reading that Edmonton defense. And although he hasn't had a lot of playing time, it really goes back to what I said. I think in those meetings, quarterback meetings with Doug Flutie and John Hufnagel, he has learned something and filed it away for the day that he got a chance to be a starter for somebody.
He didn't get to start tonight, but in relief, he's done a superb job. Stepping up, and this time he's picked off. As I said that, Rogers makes his first interception of the season as Taylor kind of hurried that one a little bit.
Yeah, he's 11 in a row now.
Yes. Little pressure from David Bailey.
Boy, this happened to Cavillo the other night. One of these tunnel vision passes where, you're so intent on tracking your receiver, you just don't see a guy like Glenn Rogers just sitting out there in no man's land, and all of a sudden Rogers has the pick, his first of the year.
Eskimos set up inside the Ticat 50 with 2:54 to go. Ticats have turned it over 4 times.
So many times the Edmonton Eskimos, you look, how do they beat you? They beat you with special teams and defense. And in a 1-point game, the defense has now made the big play.
Let's see what Kerwin Bell can do here. It's Michael Soul for close to 5 yards. Ticats have a 1-point lead. The Eskimos in great position to take over here.
And I think a good move for Kerwin Bell has gone back to that hurry-up offense. Don't let Hamilton make any substitutions. Sometimes they have been put an extra back in and take out one of the linemen, but now they have to stay in that 4-man front.
Second down, Bell looks to the far side, and that one appeared to be tipped. Sandusky was the intended receiver. If it wasn't tipped, it was real ugly.
That was pretty ugly, that pass. It seemed like there was really no intent of where they wanted to be as a receiving core on that side. Sandusky and Mazzoli on the same side of the field.
Larry Ruck getting a couple of abrasions attended to on the sidelines.
Yeah, you know, the biggest thing you worry about on the AstroTurf, there's so much dirt that lodged in it that when you get those turf burns, as everybody does get, you want to get that alcohol in there and clean them out as fast as you can.
Sean Fleming has been good on a couple tonight, but not anywhere near this distance. As long as this evening from 40 yards, this will be spotted on the 50. And what do they say? Yes, a 50-yard field goal for Sean Fleming.
Hamilton dropped off 4 guys on that field goal attempt.
Just watching for the fakes. So the Eskimos back in the lead at 16-14. Argonauts and the Mad Dogs live from Memphis tomorrow night. Kickoff 8:30 Eastern time. Join us for that. Gord Miller and Glenn Suter.
Well, Glenn Harper, not only the punter, but the holder for Sean Fleming. Watch the job he does here. That's a high snap, and the juggle, he gets it down, doesn't get the spin on it, but he didn't need it with the good range that Fleming has. Yeah, Fleming squeezed that one in there. Yeah. Tilt.
Eskimos on top by 2 at 16-14. Kalen Hall is going nowhere.
Well, Leroy Blue every once in a while will take a chance, and it's usually a calculated gamble. And this time, instead of looking to the contain against Steve Taylor, here's Leroy Blue. He takes the inside route, and he gets his hand in the cookie jar here because he makes a huge play. Richardson can't get him, and he gets Kalen Hall for the tackle in the backfield.
He had a 3-yard loss lead. Ticats, second 13 with 1:15 to go. Third quarter. Taylor looks to put it up. And he has Andrew Gregg. That'll be a first down. Boris Lawler over to make the tackle on Gregg.
Boy, you gotta love that story, eh? A little casual pitch and catch with Dieter Brock before training camp started. Got him a contract.
Out of the juniors at Sault Ste. Marie.
Oh, yeah. He was out of football for a year. We told you that. He was coaching up at Sault Ste. Marie, and now he gets to start. I was in the locker room before the game and sat down, had a nice chat with him, and I said, you make the most of your opportunity tonight. He's done well.
3 receivers near side. Ticats on first down. Kalen Hall broke 1 tackle, broke another tackle. Here's Kalen Hall with sprint speed to the outside. And a run out of bounds by Darian Hagan. Ticats wanted to get him the football 20 times tonight. He picked up 27 yards on that carry.
And he made 2 people miss. Watch, Leroy Blue will miss right there at the point of attack. Now Trent Brown misses right there with the good juke by Kalen Hall. And boy, this is what the Ticats needed in the worst way tonight. You can't have your quarterback throwing 43 times a game as they've been averaging. You've got to take the pressure off, and what a terrific run by a very talented running back.
16th time that Hall has had his hands on the football. Don Southern said he wanted to give it to him 20 times. This is Derek McAdoo. Guess who was there? Larry Ruck and Willie Pless.
Yeah, well, Blaine Schmitz had a tough night getting called for a couple of holding penalties, but he does a nice job on the trap block. Watch here. Here's the kick out, and once again, it's that quick hitter. This time it's McAdoo. Boom, right there. You don't have to hold your block for too long, and he shakes the tackle of Melvin Hunter, and boy, now, you know, Steve Taylor's got the running game going, the passing game going. He's got a very good Edmonton defense off balance as we close out this third quarter.
That is it for the third quarter with the Eskimos on top by a couple as we send you back to Darren at CFL Control.
This CFL Live update is brought to you by Subway.
the place where fresh is the taste.
Welcome back to CFL Control, and we've got to show you this one because it could be the last time the Pirates have the lead in the game. Off the opening kickoff, Mike Johnson takes his team downfield, and Bjorn Nitmo would step up from 30 yards away. Nitmo nails it. He splits the uprights. Hey, it's 3-0 for the Pirates. Could Calgary go down? You know, they've never lost to a U.S.-based team. They are 4-0. They will bounce back. We know that. We'll have highlights when they do. We'll take a break. Stay tuned. Back in a moment. Colorado Rockies had won 3 in a row. Looks like they're going to make it 4 in a row. They are currently taking it to the Montreal Expos tonight in Montreal. It is now 7-3 in the 7th inning of play. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays are out on top. They lead Oakland by a score of 3-0. That's also in the 7th. Hey, Toronto's won 2 in a row. Let's go back to Ivor Wynn, to John and Leaf.
All right, Darren, it hasn't been a classic, but it has been close. Eskimos on top, 16-14 in the Tiger Cats. Just about anything can happen in this one tonight.
Ticats have really come back. You know, it's middle of the second quarter. Steve Taylor came in, and for Don Southern and Urban Bowman there, the defensive coordinator, assistant head coach, things have been a lot brighter since that quarterbacking change occurred.
Ticats are 2nd and 1 on the opening play of the 4th quarter. Kalen Hall, and he should have the first down across the left side. He has rushed for 59 yards and has receptions for 46 so far. Numbers through 3 quarters, and the passing statistics for the Tiger Cats have taken a major jump at 224 now, compared to 174 for the Eskimos. Ticats have turned it over a little too much. But Steve Taylor has been a big part of the story for Hamilton since relieving Anthony Cavillo.
Well, I think, you know, what I like in him, John, is the confidence that he has shown when he came in the game. I mean, you just know that he had a super game plan in his mind of how he wanted to attack this defense. They come up a little bit short. I'm sure that Don Southern will go gambling here, but the confidence that Steve Taylor had in his ability, you know, he said to me before the game, hey, Leaf, if I get a chance to play, you watch me. I mean, I'm ready to take over this team, and he sure shows that he is going to.
He's had a wrist on his left hand for a couple of weeks now, and they've been cutting it back constantly, so this is the opportunity. Don Southern was talking about that he could get into the game tonight. They've shaved the cast back, and he's done a solid job. This is the Tiger Cats quarter, the 4th.
Yes, it is. That's a graphic that indicates that they can dominate teams at this point in the game.
3rd and inches. Ticats trailing by a couple to the Eskimos, 16-14. Down. It should be a Tiger Cat first down.
Boy, what a confident surge by Dale Sanderson, the center, Jude St. John, the right guard, and Blaine Schmidt, the left guard. We haven't seen this in a few weeks from a Hamilton offensive line, but oh, what wonders it does when you can have some sort of running game, and for a change you get to go out and fire out and tee off on somebody. Watch this. Hey, boom! That is the offensive line getting off on the perfect timing on the snap count, and that's a solid-looking quarterback sneak dive.
From the 25, Ticats first down. Taylor has 4 receivers to the near side and couldn't find one of them. Robert Holland might have been the closest player to the football, number 17 for the Eskimos.
He's had himself a whale of a game. He stripped 2 balls loose for fumbles, and he came up and put a tremendous hit on Barry Rose, the receiver, and now he reads that screen. Look how quickly he reads that. I mean, you know, if the receiver doesn't hold him right there, he has a chance to pick that one off. Look at there. Barry Rose gets a hand on him. He knows the situation Rose did. And he doesn't grab him. Holland may, you know, he could have been called for holding there.
2nd and 10, Ticats at the Eskimo 25.
Comes the hammer blitz.
Gordon makes the catch. We'll see where they spot the ball. I think it's look to Ozzie. First catch of the game for Flash Gordon, number 84. Osbaldiston is in.
Talk about reading coverages. Steve Taylor, you know, he knows Edmonton. You know, when you play for Calgary and your big rivals Edmonton, you know their defense, and he knows when Edmonton gets backed up, a lot of times they like to bring Glenn Rogers on the halfback blitz. He read it, made the completion. They just came up a few yards short.
Kerrigan holding for Paul Osbaldiston. And Osbaldiston gets the Ticats back into the lead. Only by a point. But the Ticats don't come up empty on a fairly impressive drive.
You know, John, I like to just show you what Steve Taylor sees on the field and his awareness of a situation against Edmonton. Traditionally, when they get backed up, they come from the short side of the field. It's called a hammer blitz. And here comes Glenn Rogers. Now, you watch Steve Taylor's head. Boom. See, he's looking out there. He sees him cheating up. Now, he knows that as soon as he takes 3 steps, he better let that thing fly. Now, he hits Flash Gordon with it. They don't pick up the first down, but that is an excellent read. Shows you why he's having a good night.
Taylor did spend a little time with the Eskimos prior to becoming a Calgary Stampeder, 1990.
Well, that's funny, you know, like he's an unknown because he just hasn't had the playing time. You always think that he's got the ability, and you have to be happy for him. He's a great guy, and he's getting a chance to show that he can be a starter in this league.
He's waited his turn, no doubt about that.
Boy, he sure has. I mean, he got hand cramps from holding that clipboard in Calgary. Of course, with Doug Flutie, you know, always going for some sort of record, the backup guy just doesn't get a chance to play because Flutie doesn't want to come out.
And you don't blame him.
No, I don't blame him at all.
The kind of seasons that Flutie has put up. I mean, to walk out of a game when there's an opportunity to add a few more to your total. Here's the kickoff, and here's Henry Williams. Williams grabbed by Michael O'Shea. 21-yard return, 68-yard kickoff.
Mike O'Shea gives you 110%, eh? Great middle linebacker. And now watch him coming down those special teams. Look at the fire in his eyes. Look at the fire here. Fights off a very half-hearted block by Lucius Floyd and wraps up Henry Williams on the tackle. There's not a lot of guys, you know, Floyd went to block him. Not a lot of guys want to have a piece of Mike O'Shea, you know. He kind of played for 2 years, and he wasn't mean and nasty. He is now getting a reputation as a guy who'll bite your ear off.
Yeah, well, moving into the middle like he did last year makes you a little nastier, doesn't it?
Yeah, you beef up a little bit. Play tall in there.
First and 10 Eskimos. Kerwin Bell still at the controls. And he fired that one into the turf, intended it for Nick Mazzoli.
Well, it really brings up an interesting point now as you see Ron Lancaster contemplating what he might do and what changes he might. Chris Vargas has played, he's the backup quarterback. He's played in every game so far for the Eskimos, and when you see the numbers of Bell, I mean, they're not horrendous, but he just really has lost the flow of this game, and does Lancaster contemplate a switch?
Second and 10, and this time Bell is on target. Now, where will they spot the ball? Tolbert made the catch, number 31, Mark Tolbert. And I'm not sure he got the first down, and I don't know if this is gambling territory. We'll wait and see.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Hamilton, number 99.
You don't have to gamble now. Michael Philbrick. Late hit. We'll see it here. No doubt. Eskimos all of a sudden out across the 50. To the 52 with a first down. Bell looked for Tolbert. Had one hand on it, couldn't bring it home. It's only the second first down for the Eskimos in the second half, Lee.
Yeah, they've lost the momentum of this game, no question. But what the Hamilton front four is doing an excellent job of is, you know, when they can't get the pressure, they're putting their hands up. And, you know, it seems like a little thing, an insignificant thing, but Jesse Small forced a high throw on that last play.
Second and 10, Edmonton. Bell stands in, and no one was home. Two new receivers, Shalon Baker to the sidelines, a little bit discouraged, obviously.
Watch Marcus Cotton. He goes out here and then takes the inside route, and guess who pays the price? This is only a three-man rush. I mean, my goodness. You have to block a little harder than that.
Grigg is ready to return, draws a flag, and gets out of bounds.
J.P. Esquerdo forced Andrew Grigg out. I don't know if that's all for Kerwin Bell tonight or not. Chris Vargas is the backup quarterback for the Eskimos. Penalty indicated against Edmonton for no yards by referee George Black. Well, it was a no yards indication. Trust us on that, folks. We'll figure out where they spot the ball in a moment. 17-16, Ticats in the lead.
No yards.
Lasting protection.
In Calgary, the Stampeders were on the move against the Pirates. The Stamps down 3-0. They give the ball to Stewart, but he fumbles it on the 3. Shreveport recovers. Stewart looking for his 3rd touchdown of the season. It would not to be. Forrest Gregg very happy, and why not? It's early in the game, but hey, they're still up 3-0.
It can't happen. Pirates can win at McMahon.
It would be the TSN upset of the week, I'll guarantee you that.
No question about that. Meantime, 1st and 10 Ticats. Beginning at the 42, Steve Taylor has taken over 3 receivers far side, 2 to the near side as Taylor gets a bit of a rush, now finds a hole away from Ruck, and he's got a first down. Vargas warming up on the far side. It's time.
Well, I think he may get his chance. You know, Kerwin Bell has really struggled, and if Vargas can run the football, I think that's a dimension that they really need from a quarterback right now. Look what Steve Taylor has done for this Hamilton team. I mean, he hasn't run the ball a heck of a lot, but I mean, when he has done it, it has been a huge weapon for this offense.
Ticats by a point, first down. The Hamilton 52. This is Kalen Hall, stopped initially, found a way to get a few yards. Mobley made the tackle, number 27. Kalen Hall, over 100 yards on the night, he's running and receiving.
That's 106, and add 7 more for that one. So he's at 113. Steve Taylor said to me before the game, we've got to get him with 100 yards or more in a game. If we do that, we can win a ball game. So they're at that point now.
12 carries for 66 yards for Hall. 2nd and 3, facing Taylor here. Home run toss. What a catch. Curtis Gordon in behind Darian Hagan. They must have been setting that up all night.
Well, you know, once again, it's Steve Taylor reading the coverage. You know, this is a good matchup. Look at, he's got Hagan up in the bump and run. Taylor does not hesitate when the quarterback is up challenging like that. It's time to go over the top. And Flash Gordon with some good speed. Watch the concentration. Up, taking it at its highest point. And hey, that is a great catch, but it's Steve Taylor reading the defense. When they're going to give you that look, you got to challenge it and go over the top, and he made it.
16 of 20, 2-2-7. Taylor is not finished yet. He's set up at the 15-yard line, 1st and 10. Ticats by a point, 4th quarter. Taylor time, and Holland covering on Rose.
I tell you, I would stay away from Robert Holland. He's having himself a heck of a night on defense. That's his 2nd knockdown, 2 fumble strips. I'd stay away from him.
Fans thought there might have been a flag there, but it was solid defensive coverage.
Well, it sure was.
But then, of course, the fans would look at it from a slightly different perspective here in Steeltown. 2nd and 10. Ticats at the Eskimo 15. Taylor looked for Rose again, got one hand on it, that was all. So, Osbaldiston will be in.
Well, it's a good drive by Steve Taylor, too, and if you're going to incomplete one, make sure you don't get the pick, because this 3 points is a very valuable 3 points. It forces Edmonton to score the touchdown to beat you. So once he got into scoring range, he's not going to take any chances.
Well, Osbaldiston is in.
I'm just so impressed with how Taylor has come in and just taken command of this offense. It's like, you know, he said, I've been waiting all this time, and I know what to do. Just let me in there. I can make the plays, and he really has.
perfect so far tonight. Ticats with a 1-point lead, trying to make it 4.
Good call here. They're just letting that time clock whittle down and kill those precious seconds and kick it with only about 2 on the clock, which they're going to end up doing.
Wide. My gosh. So it's a 2-point game as Vargas comes into the game for the Edmonton Eskimos. He's a guy who can make things happen. We'll see if he does. Eskimos Kerwin Bell will watch, we presume, the rest of this night from the sidelines. 8 of 34 for 156 yards. You wonder why the hook took so long. A couple of interceptions there, including one for the touchdown. And now, Chris Vargas, a guy who can get it done for the Eskimos and has so far this season, takes over. Little play action for Vargas. Looking deep and a little too deep for Tilbert. On a roll right.
Chris Vargas at quarterback for the Eskimos.
We sold Kerwin Bell a little short on that.
Yeah, I was looking at 8 of 34. It must have been 18 of 34.
We left the 1 out of it.
Yeah.
It was 18 of 34, but you know, for Kerwin
there
Bell,
it is.
We'll get that straight.
Typo.
So everybody, as Kerwin Bell fans, will feel a little better about him. He just couldn't get a grip on it in the second half, and for a couple of reasons. He had to throw under the defense all night long and couldn't challenge Hamilton's corners.
Vargas, and he's off the mark as well. There's a marker down in the secondary. Mazzoli was the intended receiver, but a marker well upfield. Indication against the Ticats. This was well away from the play, Leaf, as far as I could see. 8:33 to go.
Illegal contact on an eligible receiver. Hamilton, number 31. First down.
Sam Rogers.
Yeah, let's see if Edmonton can take advantage of that break, because that is an enormous break at this stage of the game. 8:33 to go. Make that 8:34, but wow, to get a freebie first down on a penalty. You know, Chris Vargas is saying, hey, we got a little second life here with that one.
Vargas wasn't even close on his first 2 tries. Let's see what he can do in his 3rd pass. To his left this time, looking for Sandusky. He's got it. Jim Sandusky inside the 30. Derek Greer made the tackle on the veteran Jim Sandusky. Only his 2nd catch of the night. But that one, 39 yards.
And how in the world did he make this play? Look at the position by Derek Greer. He's located it. He's saying, hey, I got the interception. And then Sandusky comes from nowhere and outfights him for the football. I mean, you talk about back-to-back big plays. You've got the interference penalty and now an unbelievable catch by the veteran. All of a sudden, Edmonton, you know, hey, 2 points down. They're knocking on the door.
Set up at the 26. The Eskimos have to be able to take the lead on this drive. Whether they get 3 or 6. Vargas being chased. No one home. Campbell, number 98, running down the Eskimo quarterback, Chris Vargas.
I think one of the things that you've seen already from Chris Vargas that Kerwin Bell couldn't give them is a quarterback that can break containment, get outside the pocket, and put some pressure on the defense. Now, obviously, he didn't complete the ball there, but it has at least given the Edmonton Eskimos another dimension. And now for a Hamilton linebacking core that all they've had to worry about is coming up and making tackles on pass completions. Now the extra dimension enters into the offense where they have to think about Vargas' running ability.
Mazzoli goes to the far side, along with Sandusky. 2nd and 10. This is Lucius Floyd under the cover. He'll have a first down. Sam Rogers over to make the tackle. The backups have done the job so far tonight.
Yeah, they really have. You see Sam Rogers, just his feet atop now. He goes back there when he should really get out into the flat and try and help out on Lucius Floyd. I mean, now you're giving him too much room. He's got to leave that guy quickly and get out in the flat. He's a step late. Vargas reads it. Hey, that's a good job by a quarterback of reading the coverage. He went to the right guy.
Eskimos at the Ticats, 14 with a first down. to the corner. Baker couldn't stay in bounds. Shalon Baker covered by Eric Carter. 2nd and 10.
Well, you wonder how successful has this offense been inside the 35-yard line tonight, and you see what they've had is 13 points out of that. Not too bad in 4 times. Hamilton, they changed their defense up a little bit, have blitzed a little more against Vargas than they did against Kerwin Bell. So we'll see what they do on 2nd and 10, backed up at their own 14.
3 receivers to the near side, including Sandusky. This is 2nd and 10. And a penalty flag.
That'll be interesting. The only thing they could possibly call here is procedure, because Hamilton's allowed to get back. Absolutely. Hamilton jumped, but they got back, and you know, they had, until the snap of the ball, they can do that. So when you see that flag, you know it's procedure.
Edmonton, number 58. Repeat, 2nd down.
Craig Hendrickson is 58 for the Eskimos. So now it's 2nd and 15. Ticats still have more penalties and yardage against. Could have been a big call against the Eskimos, though. Again, 3 receivers with Sandusky near side. 2nd and 15. Baker makes a diving catch, or does he?
Oh, what a catch.
It was a catch.
What a catch.
Shalon Baker.
You talk about fearless. My goodness. Roger Hennig, number 4, the middle safety's coming. And he just delivers a hammer job on Baker right there. Baker able to hang on to the football. You talk about making a big play in the clutch.
All the way.
No wonder they like throwing to this guy.
Yeah, down to the 2-yard line. Eskimos set up there. 1st and goal to go. Souls. On 2nd effort, he's down to about the 1.
And as he spun out, it was again Hennig coming up from the middle safety spot to make the hit and keep him from getting into the end zone.
Michael O'Shea also in on the play as Chris Vargas has taken over the Eskimos in the 4th quarter. Now, thinking back to last week against San Antonio, the Eskimos had a couple of cracks at it from the 1 and didn't make it. Lost the game as a result.
Well, they bring in their short yardage team. Leroy Blue, there you see the left side of the huddle, 89. He comes in as a tight end now. He has caught a touchdown pass off this formation in the past.
2nd and goal to go. Eskimos at the Ticat 1. Great view of it there. And there's Michael Souls. Eskimos say touchdown, and yes, it is. 4:50 to go, and the Eskimos have the touchdown to take the lead. Chris Vargas got it done. A little bit of help from the Ticats earlier on this drive.
Souls gets a nice running start with the lead block from Melvin Hunter. In for a little extra blocking power. He's in easily there. So the Eskimos cap off a big drive, and you know, you talk about key plays in that drive. No question, it was the interference penalty on Sam Rogers, the defensive back, on a 2nd down situation that gave them an automatic 1st down when the ball was incomplete. The little things that come back to haunt you.
Eskimos with a 22-18 lead, make it 23-18. The Eskimos leading the hometown Hamilton Tiger Cats. Souls into the end zone. Eskimos into the lead.
Welcome back to CFL Control in Calgary. Up by a score of 3-0. 55-yarder, Bjorn Nitmo. He nails another one. It's now 6-0 for Shreveport. Calgary is starting to move.
CFL Live on TSN. Brought to you by Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
Well, Stampeders are going to lose a game this season, but it's not going to be to the Pirates tonight, is it?
Hey, how do you know? I'm going to tell you one thing about Shreveport that maybe people don't realize. Their front four is as good as any in the league, you know, and if they can somehow muster up the energy tonight for 4 quarters to harass Doug Flutie, don't be surprised.
Eskimos in the lead at 23-18. Ticats have their hands on the ball. This is Sam Rogers.
And he's nailed at the 41-yard line. Nailed by John Kalin. An 11-yard return. There's the Eskimo drive. 9 plays, 75 yards. A little penalty help there, but don't deny the Eskimos the touchdown. Chris Vargas did a pretty good job.
Yes, he
took a little time off the clock.
He threw a real strike to Shalon Baker to set up that touchdown. But does that not tell you something when you watch this game tonight? Trevillo, Kerwin Bell, the starting quarterback's not overly mobile. You bring in Steve Taylor, you bring in Vargas, they loosen the defenses up with a little running, a little scrambling here and there, and they have success. Boy, what an advantage it is, a quarterback that can move around.
Lots of time to go, just over 4 minutes as Taylor drops back, looks to the far side. He has Andrew Grigg, number 89, and there are 4 Eskimos surrounding Grigg, led by Hagen and Willie Pless.
See, Andrew Grigg's a punt returner, too, so he's got those moves. He's got the good hips and everything. So when he catches a short ball like this, I mean, watch this. He just absolutely freezes Holland here. He's a great tackler. Boom, he's off and running, but that Edmonton defense is so quick. You know, Holland knows that the help is not far behind.
Gain of 3. 2nd, 7. Ticats. Hamilton 45. Taylor swings it to Kalin. Hall coming out of the backfield, and boy, he's had a solid night. He has really been a story. So has Robert Holland in on the tackle.
Kalin Hall did a great job. What a story he has been tonight. Holland had the good outside position, and that meant Kalin Hall, as soon as he saw that, he knew that he had to square the shoulders and get the first down by just powering his way through somebody. And at 203 pounds, even though he's short at 5'8", he can do that. Now they come up a little bit short, but if there's any question, Don Southern's going to take a shot at this one with only 3:10 to go.
Out across the 50-yard line, 3rd and 1 facing the Tiger Cats and Don Southern now.
I think this is what the fans at Hamilton have been waiting to see from Kalin Hall, a featured part of their offense, and he certainly hasn't disappointed tonight.
Cats go gambling with 3 minutes left on the clock. Hall has the first down. Boy, you would have thought, or at least I would have, that Taylor would have taken it himself. But they gave it to Kalin Hall, and Mobley made the stop.
Kalin Hall does a good job. He takes it deep in the backfield so he can pick his spot up over the top, and the Ticats convert on that 3rd down gamble.
And that brings out the 3-minute warning at Iberwin and Hamilton. It's not over yet, folks. The Eskimos have a 5-point lead with 3 minutes to go.
It was a sudden dose of reality for Shreveport as Doug Flutie drops back. He will go to Dave Sapunjas. That's the Sponges' 4th touchdown, 7-6 for the Stamps, now in the 2nd quarter of play.
CFL Live on TSN. Brought to you by All Sport. The new All Sports drink for athletes. All Sport. The game will never be the same. And by Bell Advantage Long Distance Services, from the Alliance of Canada's only full-service telecommunications companies.
Back for the final 2 minutes and 39 seconds at Iberwin and Hamilton. Ticats down by 5. Steve Taylor at the controls. Hamilton 1st and 10. As Taylor looks to the near side, he's picked off, intended that for Winfield. And Glenn Rogers Jr. picked it up on Earl Winfield. Don Southern feeling the agony on the Ticat bench.
Yeah, nice job by Glenn Rogers. He's got the short zone coverage, and he just slides out underneath the out by Earl Winfield. Nothing threatened Rogers inside, so he slides out and helps the corner, and that is a real heads-up play.
292. You've just won $1,267.
Rogers' 2nd interception of the night.
Pick up your prize at the field entrance of the South Stands.
And number 3.
3 picks for Rogers. What a night. See, you know, you look at that Edmonton defense, and you got your Plesses and your Rucks and Leroy Blues. But I'll tell you, as I said earlier in the game, Robert Holland and Glenn Rogers are 2 terrific halfbacks.
1st and 10 Eskimos. Too many turnovers by the Tiger Cats. This is Lucius Floyd. Opens up a big hole down the left side, and he's inside the 35. Roger Hennig from his safety spot over to make the tackle. Floyd has 24 yards.
Well, you look at the success that Chris Vargas has had since he has come in the game. First 5 drives in the second half, Kerwin Bell 31 yards, and all of a sudden Vargas doubled that in his only drive, and now with the terrific run by Floyd, they're off and running again. And you know, this is a veteran team, and when it comes time to dig down deep for that little extra, they've been able to reach back and grab it tonight.
It's up to the Ticat defense to get this ball back before the Eskimos hit the end zone or get another field goal.
Well, the interesting thing about Hamilton's defense, John, is they've been able to do that in the games that we have seen. You know, there's something in there that they get in that huddle and they talk to each other and say, look, we've got to strip that ball loose, and we've got to make the interception or the sack. And you know, they've been able to do that, but will they be able to do that against Edmonton tonight remains to be seen.
Time ticking down on the Ticats, 1:47 to go.
And Chris Vargas has one eye on that clock, too. He's going to try and snap it with just a few seconds to go.
Eskimos 2nd and 8. Here's Michael Sauls. And somehow he escapes, but comes up well short of the first down. Marcus Cotton made the tackle. Well, time is a real enemy of the Ticats now. They're down by 5. And the Eskimos send the field goal team onto the field.
But still at 23-18, even if Fleming hits this one, you know, Ticats will be down by 8. That's really only one possession into the end zone, and you get your chance, as they did a week ago at the 2-point convert, to try and tie this one up. So, you know, the defense did the job there. You know, and they were in bad field position after the turnover on the Rogers pick. But now they still may hang in there and give their offense a chance.
Fleming has been perfect so far. This will be spotted dead center at the 35. Sean Fleming. And he's got it.
You know, John, he struggled, did Sean Fleming, when he first came into this league. I think mentally more than anything. He was always physically had the tools, but now in his 4th year, he has really come into his own and been a reliable kicker that they always felt he would become.
8-point game. You think about the field goal that Osbaldiston missed from 24 yards out.
Well, there's a ton of what ifs for the Ticats tonight. You look at 10 points they gave up on kicking team fakes. You know, the fake field goal for the touchdown, and fake punt was a field goal, or resulted in a field goal. So they could look back at this one, and there'd be a lot of yeah buts and what ifs in that film session tomorrow.
Numbers said the Ticats' best quarter was the 4th. It hasn't been tonight. The Eskimos have won the 4th quarter thus far.
Well, they got one last shot here.
Minute 10 to go. Steve Taylor has it set up at the 35, and the ball squirted loose. Did Taylor catch his own pass?
That's good for your average. Doesn't help you when there's only 1:05 to go and you got to get it downfield.
Melvin Hunter got a hand up.
You know, it's really a humid night, and you add the rain on the field and moisture. You know, hey, that just slipped.
No gain, 2nd and 10.
Well, that's a completion for 1-yard gain.
2nd and 10. Taylor stands in. Winfield makes the catch at the 50. 49 seconds left. 8-point ball game. Mobley made the tackle.
Solid job by Earl Winfield to see the soft zone coverage. See, now he knows Lawlers doesn't have him in man-to-man, so now he's just trying to work into the open spot and finds it between the linebacker and Robert Holland.
44 seconds to go. Ticats with a first down. As Flash Gordon, number 84.
Okay, here's where they have to save all those precious seconds, and the officials, you know, they've blown the clock dead there while they place the football, but Taylor's got to get them up in the line of scrimmage, and, you know, he hasn't been running the offense much, so here's where you just really don't want to lose a second or two. He's doing a pretty good job.
36 seconds to go. Tiger Cats first down. Eskimos have the lead by 8. Steve Taylor near side. Tackle made almost immediately. Barry Rose has the catch. Robert Holland with the tackle.
I know sometimes in the heat of the moment you don't think about it, but I would really stay away from Holland. I mean, he was close there. You know, I think Earl Winfield's the guy. Good move right now. 23 seconds to go. Take that time out and get yourself restructured for that final push.
Steve Taylor to the sidelines for a conference with Dieter Brock. A reminder, tomorrow night we've got the Argos and the Memphis Mad Dogs, 8:30 Eastern. Live from Memphis. Saw Memphis here on Monday night. Looked like a pretty solid football team in a win over Hamilton. Argonauts struggling a bit after a loss in Shreveport last week. Let's check in with Darren.
Thanks very much, John. He fumbled earlier on, but Stewart makes up for it. He will score his third touchdown of the season. Just a 1-yard plunge. 14-6 for the Stamps in the second.
2nd and 5. Ticats running out of time. Just 23 ticks left on the clock. As Steve Taylor tries to make up 8 points on the Eskimos, can't get the pass away. Hit in the motion. Incomplete pass. It is 3rd and 5 as David Bailey, former Ticat.
Watch Bailey coming to the left of your screen. He keeps working, and boom, just as Taylor wants to deliver the football, the hit comes. They haven't had a lot of pressure on Taylor, but what an opportune time for David Bailey to get the hit right there. So it's all or nothing now.
Exactly what I was going to say. 3rd and 5, 18 seconds on the clock. Ticats have to get a first down. Marker is down, likely against the Tiger Cats. He goes for the whole bundle, touchdown. Now hang on, Andrew Gregg makes the catch, but it's coming back, folks. Holding the indication against the Tiger Cats.
Holding, Hamilton number 57. 3rd down repeated.
Big Ben. Now St. Germain. Trying to save his quarterback.
Now there you see he's got the hook on Leroy Blue there, and it's like I said earlier, once you get those arms extended and you get them up on the shoulder pads of the defensive lineman, they're going to call it every time. Val St. Germain has to work on his footwork, get a little quicker so he can engage those guys in tight. Then you can hold a guy every once in a while.
3rd and 15, 8 seconds on the clock. The Ticats have to get to the end zone here. Steve Taylor gets away from the initial charge. Now throwing upfield. Rose, he stopped with 0 seconds on the clock, no markers down. And that's the old ball game. Ticats come up about 10 yards short. Steve Taylor couldn't quite do it tonight. Give the Eskimos credit for a come-from-behind victory, engineered by Chris Vargas.
I think you really have to give the Eskimos credit. I mean, they're playing on the road for the 2nd week in a row, and, you know, they kept the game close. They lost control of it through the 2nd and 3rd quarters, but then it was the 3rd interception of the game for Glenn Rogers, and boom, Vargas takes it in, and that's all she wrote.
Lancaster and the Eskimos get out of a 1-game slump. The Tiger Cats have now lost 3 in a row. An 8-point win for that Hall of Famer over Don Southern.
Welcome back to CFL Control. The Calgary Stampeders continue to lead the Shreveport Pirates by a score of 14-6. They are still playing in the first half. Calgary looking to improve to the perfect 5-0. Shreveport with a 1-4 record. As I said, now 14-6 in the second quarter of play. Let's go now. Let's go to Calgary. Joining James Marshall, Ben Bonsai Marshall. Well, we'll get to them in just a moment or two as the football game is currently being telecast out in Cowtown. Our next game, tomorrow, we come to you once again, the Toronto Argonauts. They will be back in action. Downtown Eddie Brown, Memphis Mad Dogs. You know, the Dogs are playing very well. I think they could take it to the Argos tomorrow. Toronto will not have Kent Austin with the start. Paul Mazzotti will not be playing in the game. By the way, Damon Allen, you see his picture there? He leads the Dogs in rushing with 209 yards on 35 carries. Once again, it is 23-18. That is the final tonight from Hamilton's Ivor win. On to our game story now, and this is basically the way it broke down this evening. Glenn Rogers with 3 interceptions in the game. Great defensive game. Lucius Floyd, 103 all-purpose yards in the contest. Steve Taylor comes in relief did a pretty good job, but came up short. 311 yards passing, 38 yards rushing. Kerwin Bell did get the start for the Edmonton Eskimos, but he was pulled in the game after being very ineffective. In comes Chris Vargas. He takes him downfield. He's somewhat of a comeback kick. Now with the victory, the Eskimos improved to 4-1 on the season. The Hamilton Tiger Cats dropped to 2-3 on the year. They started the year with 2 straight victories. They have now dropped 3 straight games. It makes you wonder what's going to happen in Steeltown. Anthony Cavillo, he has had his problems over the past 3 games. Will he get the start in their upcoming contest? Or perhaps will they go with Steve Taylor? You'd have to believe with the job that Steve Taylor did tonight that he in all probability will get the next start for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He looked that good. Really didn't get a lot of support from his defense late in the game as the Eskimos moved downfield. Sports Desk is coming up at 11 o'clock Eastern Time in about a half hour's time from now. You can join Brendan Connor and Michael Landsberg as they run down the day's activities, and it really has been a busy day. The Toronto Blue Jays sending David Cone, who's 9-6 this year with a 3.38 ERA, to the New York Yankees. They pick up 3 prospects. Coney, of course, 1994 Cy Young Award winner. They'll have all the deals, including Danny Tartable being dealt, Bobby Bowe also on the move. Now, our next contest will come to you tomorrow. It is Damon Allen and his Memphis Mad Dogs as they will take on the Toronto Argonauts. The Argos going into the contest desperate for the win, but as aforementioned, Kent Austin will not get the start in this contest. In turn, they're going to go with Eric White. Toronto goes into the game 1-3. Memphis goes into the contest 3-2. Dogs have won 3 straight. You know what? Going to be tough for the Dogs tomorrow, but I think they'll get the job done. That's basically it for now. Thanks very much, folks, for watching. From CFL Control in Toronto, have yourself a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.